Welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast. This is episode 47. We're coming to you from the Stewed at 25/8 Studios in Scranton. I'm Rich Howells. I'm the founder and editor of NEPA Scene.
Oh, I thought don't you usually go next?
Do I?
I don't know, but you really can't hear much when the mic's pointed at your chest.
I'm Lauren Coralico, creative and content strategist at Lavelle Strategy Group, otherwise known as Multiracial Rachel.
You're multiracial, Rachel?
You called me yeah.
I did not call you that. Do not spread this gossip.
You did.
When did I call you that?
On Star Wars night.
That doesn't count. We were in my basement in the Fortress of Solitude.
Everybody.
You have no idea what bro code is. We were down there. We talk about stuff that we're not supposed to talk about publicly. It's a private conversation. Did I really call you that?
Yes.
What were we doing at the time?
You were talking about how
Is this going to get me in trouble?
No.
Okay, good.
I am also known as Multiracial Rachel.
Because we were talking about all the different forms of Rachels.
Everybody's a Rachel.
Yeah, but I came up with multiracial
No.
Rachel? Oh, well, who came up with that?
Rachel.
So then how did I call you that?
Because-
I didn't come up with that?
No.
Oh, I just regurgitated someone else's good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I'm a plagiarist. All right, I'm Mark.
A plagiarist.
I'm Mark, a plagiarist. Just like music, man, there are no new ideas. It's just different forms of another thing. Nobody got that? Understood at all?
No, I got it.
Okay. Take your Nanook of the North hat off. Is this how it's going to be today? All right, game on. Because you've been real
nasty
aggressive with me in the last 2 weeks
You made me mad.
via email.
Is that why we haven't been here? You guys have just been...
No,
fighting
fuck Lauren.
No.
No, stop. Seriously, you threw your mic. No, you know me.
Podcast Fight Club.
You know me. I'm a big girl. You can't come at me like that. I mean, with your whole hooded jacket on and your Fargo hat.
It's cold. I'm cold. We just had snowpocalypse.
No, we didn't.
Yes,
we didn't.
I had a whole 2 inches.
I hate it when mommy and daddy fight.
I'm scared too, audience.
Yeah, you should. Y'all should be. Hey, you want to talk about your website?
Well, I was going to
Just nominated for an Addy?
I was going to introduce these guys first.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. I forgot there's guests. All right, go.
Just barely.
I thought you guys are just sitting around. I'm sorry. I feel like a total asshole now. Okay.
All right, we got Rich Drees, we got Jeff Boam, and we got Joe Evans here.
Howdy.
All to talk about movies, because these
like
guys
Rich
are
and-
big movie geeks.
I like Rich and Jeff.
Wow.
You're new. I don't like you yet.
All right. I mean,
You
got-
have to win him over throughout the show.
take
Yeah.
your lumps, new guy.
You got all of his available attention when he stood up to introduce himself.
Was that an honor?
That was
That was
an honor.
exhausting to me.
Noted. Imagine how it
Like to
felt
get
on
out of a
my
chair like a gentleman
Yeah.
and outreach my hand and
Scary.
say, pleasure, sir.
end. No. I mean, I thought you were coming to stab me. That's my mistake.
I give that in my scarf.
You just, boom. I don't know where it's coming
What was I
from.
going to stab you with? The end of a dull rose?
Listen.
Wow.
I don't ask questions, man. I don't ask questions.
Closer. I can't hear you.
I don't ask questions, man.
That's better.
So now he gets closer and whispers,
It's true. Yeah.
just like a serial killer. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys keep talking. I'll try to fix this.
All right, so first up on the website, we have an exclusive premiere of Ed Kuzo's new solo album. It's an acoustic EP that he's working on before his full-length solo album comes out in April. So that'll be really cool. So we have a stream and download of that. You can download it for free, or you can pay for it if you're one of those people that actually wants to support the artist and not be a total dick. But if you want to, that's fine. I mean, if you want to be a dick, that's cool. You can just download it. It's free. But we also have a little bit about the album as well. So give that one a listen. The first ever Fuzz 92.1 Cardboard Box Sled Derby
Yes.
is going to be at Montage Mountain in Scranton on February 28th. That was an interesting announcement I got today.
How much was it to enter?
I think it's $40 for a team and $25 if you're a single sled. And it's one of those you have to build with only cardboard,
glue,
tape.
tape, and string. Decorations are allowed, such as Christmas lights and paint. However, if you use any official building materials, you will be disqualified.
And you did that without notes.
You should actually you should be there. Like you should. Be
Can you hear now?
I would love to be involved with that somehow.
Can you hear better
It makes
now?
me so excited for some reason. Yes, I can hear you.
No, can you hear better now?
I could hear you fine the entire
How
time.
about you,
loud.
Rich?
I could still hear you. Yeah.
No, but did what I did affect anything in a positive?
How do you feel about the
Not that I can hear.
Damn it.
sled race?
Is there room on the side for sponsors? Like we're talking
ooh.
like full on NASCAR. Like if we're gonna go all in, full suit, helmet.
Well,
You
they
need a
actually
helmet.
give
You
they
need one?
Helmet is required
That's
if you're going to be in the sled.
Oh, that is lovely.
they have different prizes, and one of them is for being the most creative. So I guess if you picked a really interesting theme or something like that, you would probably at least win one of the prizes.
Noted. Noted.
Now can you hear him?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, what were we talking about? I walked away.
The sled.
Santa's?
No.
Which one?
Don't worry about it.
Is this something that was posted on
I'm
NEPAscene.com?
gonna keep it from
Yes.
Best
You
website in
don't-
Northeast PA?
You don't need to know about this.
All right.
What is it? The best website?
Actually, I would like to see Mark enter that.
That downhill sled thing?
Yeah.
No.
Just purely on
Should
cardboard.
we do a team?
What's that Red Bull thing that
Can
they do?
we do a team?
We should do.
Can we do
should
a
do
team?
an NEPA
Do you know
team.
how
I'm
much
100% on
cardboard
board
I
for that.
have just stashed away in case we have something like this? You
Laura,
have no
specifically
idea.
for this one.
It's good quality cardboard and parts, and they're angled.
How are you a doomsday prepper for this?
You'd be surprised what you can do with cardboard.
Is Alien Jesus going to be on the team?
Alien Jesus should be the
Yes.
mascot of the
The question is, if he can walk on water, can he walk on snow?
Whoa.
These are the questions, right? This is
Oh.
the important.
I really. Wow.
Yeah.
You'll have to wait till Easter
Holy
to answer
shit.
that question.
What do you think of that, audience?
If he can walk on water, can he walk? Yeah, they never asked that.
They don't.
I don't think there was.
Did you
much
just come up
snow
with that?
in
To be-
Israel.
I did.
And now
Right
I
off the
like
top of my
you.
head.
You're
won
now,
him
in your, now you're in my good graces.
Oh,
That was
fantastic.
awesome.
I don't have to
Keep
worry about
coming
that
up
dull
with more
rose
questions
anymore.
about Alien Jesus.
All right, can we move on,
all right.
please?
Yes.
We're all like ferrets.
We'll get back to that later.
We also have a video
Cat snakes.
premiere of Family Animals' new video for World Within a World. Features the campground, the sprawling campgrounds of Waymart. They're quite beautiful. Let's see.
Also known as SEI.
Yes. Wow. We have some photos of Alexis P. Suter and Ed Randazzo in Pittston. They did a sold-out show at WVIA in Pittston. That was really cool. The pictures are great. We also announced that shock rocker Alice Cooper is coming back to the Kirby Center on May 13th. I interviewed him the last time he was in. He was actually really, really cool to talk to.
He has a genius IQ.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
That doesn't surprise me.
No. He's up there with James Woods.
He's also an excellent golf player. From what
Yes, he is.
Isn't James Woods also?
An excellent golfer? I don't know. I think I just remembered that Alice Cooper was a good golfer because it seems strange that he played golf.
Right,
Why?
of all things.
Have you... Rich just called him a shock rocker.
You think he
Wouldn't that
plays in the
surprise
makeup?
you if he's
Have
like
you ever gone golfing?
at TPC at Sawgrass? Yeah.
I hope he plays in the makeup. I really do. Like the full getup.
Yeah.
The regalia?
Yeah.
You think Gene Simmons golfs that way?
I think Gene Simmons does everything that way.
For $1.
I think we'd prefer it. I mean,
For a dollar.
have you seen him without the makeup? I think I'd prefer with the makeup.
He looks like Gene Simmons. He looks like the guy who married what's her face.
coming at ya.
Here we have Kiss the Coffin. All right, Gene. Thanks, buddy. Didn't know we didn't need that, but now I do.
Got all the people in the Kiss Army who want to buy Kiss coffins to be buried in. So we'll sell them to them. Why not?
Yeah, that's pretty dead on.
All right, what else is going on?
Oh, we have a movie review of The Forest by I don't know, some hack, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that the one with
Is that about the suicide forest in
Yeah.
Japan?
Cool
Vice
concept.
did an episode on that. Did you ever see that?
Yes.
Who did
yes,
that?
I did.
Vice.
Vice did?
Yeah.
That was probably better than the shitty ass movie. My God,
Wow.
guys, I fucking hate that movie. Wow.
I thought it was something people were looking forward to.
Oh, I was. I went in and it was a cool concept. You should read the review first of all on NEPAscene.com.
Is that, was that the too long didn't read version?
No, the too long didn't read version is if you took all of the good ideas in the film and then just like completely squandered them. That's the premise right there. Just like, oh, you have this cool forest and this actress that's really cool. Let's do literally nothing.
Who was I forget who the actress was. Who was the
It
actress?
was Natalie Dormer from
from Game of
I
Thrones
love
and
her.
otherwise known as Queen Marjorie.
She's also in The Tudors as the smirking.
Is she? I don't
other
watch the
smart
Tudors.
And
character.
I watched
Elementary as who is it, Rich?
Jeff, you can
Another
totally
striking
pull
partner?
that.
Yeah, she's Iran.
You can pull that towards yourself so you don't have to reach.
Oh my gosh, at my age.
No, you can pull it towards, like, don't be, there's a base, you can move it.
I haven't watched Elementary this
so
year.
much
though,
better.
so
It's like a
that's
wiener
another
Watch
story.
Elementary. Come on. They just put on their DVR.
It's only Lucy
Let's
Liu.
be
That's
honest.
it.
All right.
If we had, this is like literally, it sounds like a peanut gallery.
Why are you holding the mic like a host in like the 60s would? You know, like they used to have them when they came off their chest? Whoever those.
Like the
Like
Am I the only
Bob
guy that
Barker-
saw
like
that?
Bob
long
Barker?
lapel
The
mics.
very first weatherman on the Today Show.
Yeah, it was like it would
1962.
come from his sternum, and that would be the mic was like strapped to him.
Wearing a Big Trouble in Little China shirt.
Yes, I am.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Are you
That's
trying to deflect from the
amazing.
fact that he compared you to Dave Garroway?
Picture.
I didn't even hear it. All right, what else is going on?
Oh, these lovely guys at the Stewed provided us the 2015 Culture Shock live sets.
Oh, did
which
we?
is pretty cool. Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
I was out that week. I was paying attention.
You were there for the recording, though, if I recall.
They had food trucks.
So that's mainly why you went.
No. It's really
You just hit record and walked away. Is really
that wasn't
what
me. I don't know. As we all know, I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to sound engineering. No, that was Angela Marzelli. And I had nothing better to do that day. But at the same time, like I what was the music conference was going on at that time too?
Oh,
Wasn't
that's
the
right.
EC music conference?
Right.
So I'm up there, man. I'll support Corey Wolf in anything he does, and you know I don't feel bad about supporting him because I'm never disappointed in whatever he does. So Culture Shock, I think, is a great thing, and he's already ramping up for next year. So Corey, if you're listening, that was my taco flavored kiss for you.
What kind of taco?
Get a
Lauren,
room,
shut up.
guys. Ugh.
Stand down.
All right, one more thing, and then we'll move on.
I'm
to
gonna call Ice
movies.
Cube and have him recreate Straight Outta Compton and whoop your ass.
We actually have a ton of new content contributors coming out in the next couple of weeks with some brand new stuff. The one that I want to announce for this week, Brett Alexander is going to be writing for.
No, he's not, is he?
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's very well respected in the community. He won the Steamtown Music Award last year, the Lifetime Achievement Award.
That guy is brilliant beyond brilliance.
Yeah, so we have some really cool content coming from him, from his personal experiences and
You know what
his
sucks?
opinions on different things. And,
He's talented and he's brilliant.
yes,
But can he play
and
golf?
he is not the
I don't know
only
if he can golf.
respected musician that will be having contribute to the site. So we have some more coming up, but I'll save it. I'll save it for next week.
Yeah,
or
that
the
was
week
a
after.
great foreplay for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, Brett's a
worked for you?
good grab.
all right.
Yeah. Brett's
Grab.
It's I understood the innuendo,
Okay, good.
but he's more like a penguin blowjob.
Excuse me?
Let's move on,
What does
please.
that even mean?
Let's-
I'll tell you later.
Yeah. Let's not get into this on the air, please.
Just let it go.
And Burgess Meredith gags.
All right, so
All right, we got to start over.
love you, Ron.
Welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast, episode 47. This is Lauren Crow.
Because Mickey loves you.
Trying to avoid a very unfortunate situation here in the Stewed at 25-8
Why are you trying to do crowd control? It's a room full of men. You can't stop it. Talking about Burgess Meredith and Rocky and oral sex. You can't beat that. It's like the best. It's the best Monday we've had in a while. Some point in this, I will text you, Lauren. So keep your phone off vibrate.
It's on vibrate because
I thought you want me to text you.
I do, but there's also a conversation about a bulldog happening, and it would just be like ding, ding, ding if I left it.
All right.
His name's Buster as well.
Last name Cherry.
That was Jeff. I didn't say that.
But
I
he
didn't
was
say that.
he was thinking it.
All right. So are anything else?
Anything else going on in this great section of the country, sir?
What I want, the first thing I want to ask our guests actually is, what were your favorite movies of 2015?
Should we preface this by saying that this is what we're going to talk about tonight? Is the 2015 year interview, or did I walk out? But
yeah, I mentioned.
All right, I'm sorry.
We're gonna talk about this past year's movies. We're gonna talk about the Oscars. We're gonna talk about Oscar controversy, if you want to call it that. Whatever.
I feel bad. I'm like the boss who's like, you need to take out. Oh, you already did take out the trash. Okay, I'm sorry.
But yeah, I want to start with what everybody's favorite movies of 2015 were.
Can we start with Lauren so she can get back to her pit bull eating mayonnaise conversation?
I like Mad Max, Fury Road.
That's it.
That's it.
Nothing else you liked.
Star Wars I didn't see it until New Year's Day, so it doesn't really count.
Why doesn't it count? It was
Doesn't
out.
count.
It came out in 2015.
I didn't
it
see it in
counts.
2015. That's the first thing I did in 2016 was go see
But, like,
Star Wars.
So then I can't.
Yeah, but like, what year did
Nope.
it come out?
I don't care. It didn't happen in my reality.
So The Godfather doesn't exist in your world.
So
What?
Star Wars happened in 2016.
2015.
Is
2015.
okay. All right.
Hey, alien Jesus, just
Yeah.
go with
Well,
it.
I was actually going to try to bring it back around to
A
that. but I didn't
tumbleweed
wanna-
just rolled through my head.
didn't want to deviate.
So you start and stop at Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, it was like
Okay.
an opera.
And that's it. That's what you just say. How was
the only
Carmen?
movie you
It was an
saw?
opera.
That's it. I'm good.
That's it. How was Hamlet? It was a play.
It was a
And then
play.
you just move it like and next thing.
A lot of yelling and stabbing in it.
What happened?
Crimson
People played.
Crimson
Somebody took a
Peak was
bath.
pretty good too.
I didn't like that movie.
Why not?
I just didn't like it. It wasn't what I expected.
What did you expect?
I don't know.
Why would you go see that? It was a romance movie.
It's not a romance movie. It had ghosts.
No,
and
it's
I'll
a
watch
gothic
anything
horror
It was
film.
Guillermo.
a gothic
Crimson Peak?
romance.
Yeah.
Is that a romance?
It's a romance.
Where?
I mean-
Where's the love in that?
It's a love story.
What between
Where?
between the brother and the sister?
Basically.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the only romance I saw there.
All right. So the Pornhub derived content of Crimson Peak aside, I guess it is beautiful.
It was very well shot.
I believe in truth in advertising. When I hear Crimson Peak, I want to see Jessica Chastain's breasts.
I second
and
that.
never happened. Crimson.
No, you just got to watch Lawless.
Oh,
You're welcome.
I saw that.
It happened.
I
What
fell
was that?
asleep.
You said Lawless?
Tom Hardy,
Right
right?
on my notepad
Yes.
right here.
And Shia LaBeouf.
Say it again.
Shia LaBeouf.
Real life cannibal Shia LaBeouf?
He's not a real life cannibal.
Yes,
You
he
haven't
is.
seen that video?
Why?
huh?
What? Okay.
You don't browse the
This
internet
is
much, do you?
insane.
Actual cannibal shot.
Actual cannibal. That's what it
Actual
is.
cannibal.
I've messed it up. I'm sorry.
Move to Rich, the other Rich.
Oh.
Rich also.
Hey.
Ouch.
Well, he's Rich A. Instead of calling you Rich B, you'd be Rich
I'm
also.
the fourth of 5 kids. I've had that whole.
Are they all named Rich?
No.
Oh,
but-
okay. All right. So what?
Wow. Well, let's see. Top 5 was probably Tangerine, Star Wars, Big Short, Spotlight, and
What do you have notes?
yeah, I have notes
Oh shit!
I'm
Really?
terrible
Oh, he
at
really
this
does.
off the top of my head. A Mona Lisa, actually. I
What's
like that.
Mona Lisa?
A Mona Lisa.
A Mona Lisa.
Anomalisa.
Anomalisa?
Anomalisa.
The
Well, we all screwed
Charlie
that one up.
Kaufman animated film.
That's just weird.
It wasn't animated. It was like puppets, wasn't it?
But it was like
Stop
animated
motion.
It was like
puppets.
Stop motion
claymation.
animation.
Yeah.
It's still animation.
I have to see that.
I've seen some clips. It's weird.
It's
Where
on
did you
my
see
list.
Anomalisa?
Down in Philly.
Oh, because it's not playing around here.
Nah,
'cause
I don't think it did.
we all we get is Hunger Games catching fire again.
I didn't see that.
4 theaters of Star Wars. Great. Thanks, guys.
Jeff,
Yes.
top.
Top 5. This is it's been quite the year. I don't think we have any standout classic films of all time, but we had some great films, and those include.
So this was not the best year for films.
It's just one of those years that I don't.
It
think
happened.
It just happened since 2007.
Hurricane Katrina?
I look at 2007.
It was, in
I look
fact,
at like
a
when
year.
Atonement, No Country for
Oh,
Old
I love
Men,
that
There
movie.
Will Be Blood, Michael Clayton, Juno. I mean, I just remember,
You like Juno?
that's at the bottom of that list.
I was 16 at the time.
It was. It's
I like
at
that
the bottom of
Atonement was at the
5.
top.
Yeah.
That was good.
It's good, but but I'm looking at this year, like many great films, but none that are classic. But at the top of my list this year, Spotlight, definitely Room. Holy
I didn't see that yet. Is it the Brie Larson one?
Yeah, I
Yes.
need to
Okay.
see that.
Amazing movie.
Didn't show it
Brooklyn
right here.
goes up there.
What's Brooklyn about?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is that's on iTunes right now, isn't
Yeah, Saoirse Ronan plays a
Good.
young.
Yes.
it? No one can pronounce her name.
Yeah, I just did. I just
Sarah C?
whatever I said is correct, Rich. Don't ever
fine.
question me.
I just call her Hannah.
I thought it was.
So Susie Ronan gets drunk and comes over from Ireland, and she decides to screw two mates, one on the mainland and one back in Ireland.
Is this a period piece?
It is a period
Yes.
piece,
Okay.
yes.
So Brooklyn,
1950s.
what
Not just
else?
once a month either. But
Wow, like these guys are full of testosterone.
yes, they are.
More than I
It's a
usually.
beautiful period piece, though, and Brooklyn.
Now I can't get it out of my head.
Yep, well, I just went there. So Brooklyn, 1950s, is presented beautifully, and the scenes back in Ireland are presented beautifully. What a great performance from her! The whole movie is just very well done. It's a very simply stated piece, well directed, well presented, well acted. I can't say enough great things about Brooklyn. So there you go. And then Spotlight appears there.
I have seen that.
And I just recently read on Rotten Tomatoes some accredited reviewer who I won't even give his name any.
Why can't
hearsay
you
or
give his
anything.
name? It might get us
Because I'm
press.
too drunk to remember. But he just he talked about how shoddily directed the movie was.
What?
What a fuckface.
Tom McCarthy.
Welcome to the New Age critic.
What an idiot.
One word review. Fuck this flick.
Everything was presented in such a straightforward manner in this movie. That's why I loved.
It was like a
Spotlight.
throwback to like Pakula and like all that
Really
stuff. It was a
Well,
procedure. It was
just
really
the
nice.
Facts, ma'am, only the facts. They're not worried about what they do when they go home. And just to update the audience, it's based on the not the allegations.
Not to know the truth.
What actually happened?
Of the Boston Globe uncovering what happened with the Catholic Church, the Diocese of Boston, and it just goes beyond the Catholic Church. The diocese. I'm Catholic. I'm becoming Catholic, actually, and it goes beyond.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you very much.
I'm becoming older.
I'm pretty much a non-dues paying member right now.
Tell you about Alien
There's
Jesus.
dudes?
I'm covering your end. All right.
every week when they pass that plate, there's dues.
But it goes,
Jeff, it's we've doubled membership this month. The fee because Rich ain't showing up. Thanks, Jesus.
I'll tell you about Alien Jesus later. It's part of the whole thing.
All right, so Spotlight.
He's a great member.
which is actually directed by an actor.
Well, Tom McCarthy, he did Station Agent, which
Yeah.
has a lot of local ties.
It does.
Like that. Tom McCarthy's always done some great work, and it's a very straightforward piece, but it harkens back to All the President's Men. I don't mean that in the sense that it's journalists uncovering something that's true. It doesn't worry about their politics or what happens at home.
No, it's just the
about
news.
uncovering the truth.
Yeah.
But they couldn't have handheld cameras back then. Otherwise, they would have gone for a very straightforward approach. So,
Right.
anybody to say that this is a very shoddily directed movie,
It's
just,
not.
It's like a fly on the wall, and this movie just goes. And there's very little preaching. There's very little commentary in it, and that's what I love about this movie. Because if you really do have a faith, it doesn't shatter your faith. In fact, this had to be uncovered. I mean, these
it puts into question the institution in
the
Boston
institution.
and
but
the
it goes
Archbishop.
beyond just the church. There's so many institutions within Boston, and if you go beyond in politics globally, on just cover this up. It's just amazing.
I don't want to ruin anything, but there was one moment in it. I forget who the journalist was. Remember when he walked out of his house
Yeah,
because he knew one of their quote
around
unquote
the
safe houses was around the corner, and it was just like this, and it just stays with him and just goes. And I just thought that was just really
And
well done.
I feel bad. I can't remember that actor's name right now, but he's surrounded
He's great.
by Michael Keaton.
He was great in there.
And the rest of that cast, and it's like, oh, there's a star, there's a star, there's a star, there's a guy with a mustache, there's a guy, there's a star, there's
But
a
it's
star.
seen- but
And
it's an
he holds his
ensemble.
own. He's
His
Yeah.
Mustache was the star.
but he holds his own. He's fantastic in that movie. He's fantastic in that moment.
Yeah.
And that's one of the few times you actually kind of do follow them home, because it's the movie wants to give the audience various little avenues to explore their own reactions to this. Like, how would you feel if you discovered this was right around the corner from your own home?
Right.
How would you feel if your grandmother was still very strongly in the Catholic Church and
Well,
very
also, how do you-
faithful? And then you have the Rachel McAdams character, doing exploring
in
that
that
a little
moment
bit.
for him, how do you feel when you can't tell anybody?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's about as close as they get to, I would say, a conventional Hollywood story moment, but they kind of pull pull back from that, and I really appreciate that.
I thought it was very well done.
It's not about being subjective. It's just about getting to the truth of the matter, and all movies are subjective, but this possibly is the least of all of them this year, that really, with such a lightning rod subject matter, I think Tom McCarthy's done great work for years. This is a great movie. And the reason I center on this film is because
You haven't seen The Cobbler, have you?
Did he do that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey, Spielberg doesn't hit it out of the park every time.
True.
Man.
I've seen 1941.
I've seen Always. So anyway, there's coming into the
So have
race.
I.
This was the this was a front runner among all of them, but the race has changed many times since then, going up to the Academy Awards. I think Spotlight, I don't think anybody would argue with me here, was the big front runner coming into the awards race early.
Oh, yeah.
But it's changed exponentially, and I guess we'll talk about that as we go on.
Jerk.
Hey, what's up? So are we,
At least he knows his name.
so I mean, are we? I have a list of 10. So are we going by top 5? Is that what we're doing?
No, just if you want to list 10,
I'll tell you what,
because none of us seem like we can keep our mouths shut, so
Yeah,
we'll just
I'll
hop
tell you
in.
what. I'll mention the films that we haven't addressed so far. So for me, I number 4 on my list, It Follows is there. Oh my God, do I love this movie? It Follows.
It's a very polarizing film.
It was great. It was fantastic. What was polarizing about it for you?
There's who was it? Tarantino came out and was like, "Fuck that movie."
Yeah, and I'm not sure why.
I liked
Wish you thought of it
I liked the minimalism of it.
Absolutely.
It created terror, and there was one scene in it where they're at the school, and I'm sitting there with my fiance now, and I looked at her and I said, "Honey, that's just 2 360-degree pans." And they frightened the hell out of me.
Yep.
And I liked the wheelchair. I thought the way the camera work, I think, is the thing that's most horrifying about that, because I think it's very, I wouldn't say first person, whatever, but I think as a culture, we're starting to get more towards like, I'm going to watch this guy on a GoPro go down an entire
Well,
mountain.
that's sort of the POV.
It's kind of like that, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like this locked off camera, and I like the idea of them using it on, especially I like the wheelchair idea of it, where it was locked on her face, and it was,
the scene I always point to is the one.
I was a little let down by the pool scene.
Yeah, no, I
expected more from that.
Me and my I've debated the ending a lot, and I'm on the side of I'm not too fond of the ending. But it doesn't.
There's none.
but that's what I mean. The pool scene doesn't make any sense. Nothing about the pool scene makes sense to me. But I think the sort of overall film, as a whole package, I feel like it delivers.
No, performances were all, but the girl in that was from The Guest, which I really liked The Guest last year.
Yeah, she was in that one. Yeah,
yeah, she was the daughter in The Guest.
She was. You're right. To bring up your point of sort of the tension that built up. The scene I always bring up is the one where they're sitting in the circle in the field. And
is that what the other kid? The kid who gave it?
The kid's telling her what happened.
Okay.
How he got it, how he transferred it, and how it works.
Right.
How it can disguise as anybody, all this stuff. And in the background,
I saw that.
you see this girl just sort of meandering, just like slowly
Towards camera.
towards camera.
Yeah.
And she's walking, just hands at her side, stiff. Like the monster has been shown previously to be walking. And the whole scene, she's just getting closer and no one notices. They just keep talking. She's like coming from a soccer practice. She has like stuff over her shoulder. Like she's just coming closer and closer to screen and just close, and no one's addressing it. And I'm sitting there like, oh, okay. Like this is going to be our first confrontation with this thing. Like whatever this thing is, we're about to see it in action. And then, she gets closer and closer and closer. And then they all turn and she just walks right by. Just like, it's not her. Just it's not the monster. It just keeps walking.
Do you know what it's like? Were you excited for that moment?
Oh, so excited.
So it's like the pretty girl at the restaurant that you think is waving at you.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey.
Yeah.
And it's totally the guy behind you.
For me, it's the waiter with the food. Like the waiter's coming by with like a plate and you're like, oh, is it mutton? No. And, just keep and you have to like
For you, it's not about romance. It's about chicken nuggets.
You have to like pretend you didn't make eye contact. Like, oh no, that wasn't my steak.
No, I really like that. I like that movie so much that I bought it.
Yes, I really enjoyed that. It's number 4 on my list, which is pretty high up.
But not compared to 3, 2, and 1.
No, definitely not.
I'm always fascinated that horror movies seem to be the most cinematic of films because they definitely rely on all the tools of movie making.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're the ones that always seem to be the most
Overlooked.
yeah, looked down the nose on by, oh, it's just a horror movie. But compared to, even when you see some great filmmaking like in Spotlight, that of course will get, because it's a more serious subject matter rather than just, it's a genre, not a genre film, like The Babadook or
Yeah, I was about to
It
bring up that.
Follows.
I
or
like
something
that.
Oh.
I mean, that was Babadook came out this year, didn't it?
Last year.
Yeah.
That was a 2014
Yep.
movie.
That movie
Late
was
2014,
again fantastic for me. One of my favorite horror movies.
All right. So keep going down your list, man.
right,
We're not afraid to listen to you.
We haven't mentioned we mentioned Mad Max briefly.
Is that on your list?
It is. It's number 3.
I'm curious what number. Did you rank these by
By my
enjoyment?
enjoyment of the film.
So
Yes.
number 1 is the one you.
Number
hands
1 is
down.
the film I enjoyed the most.
Okay. Keep going.
Do you want me to go from 10 up, or do you want me to go from 1 down?
I want you to go from 10 up.
10 up. All right. so-
Skipping 4.
no, yeah, no. I'm gonna do my whole spiel on It Follows again. It's gonna be great
No.
for the second time.
No.
Number 10, The Martian. Matt Damon in space. Fantastic.
I really enjoyed the
I
Martian.
really liked The Martian. Didn't like it enough to put it above, some other films on the list. Just because, and I wrote this. I wrote this in a piece that's going to be coming out in a couple days. But
About The Martian?
well,
You didn't publish his review of The Martian yet?
No, the top 10. No.
top 10 it's in my top 10 list.
It's
in
on
my-
Blu-ray.
Yeah, no, I wrote it up on my top 10 list, but I cared more about Sean Bean and his adventure back to
Mordor?
that's funny. It made that joke in the piece, but I
That was weird, wasn't it? That
It
they
was.
did
It was.
make a Lord of the Rings reference?
Yeah, 100% they did. 100%.
And you're
It was
like,
awesome.
Boromir?
It's awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. But I cared about the astronauts and Matt Damon, like the guys on the ship coming back.
Yeah.
Far more than I gave a shit about like the Earth bureaucracy that was going through. Like, I mean, it's great. You have, the guy from Dumb and Dumber, good actor. Can't remember his name right now.
Jeff
There
Daniels?
you go, Jeff Daniels. You had Jeff Daniels as like the president of NASA. Totally believable. I could buy
The
that.
president of NASA?
Yeah, president of NASA. He's
Is that like the
commander-in-chief of
dictator of Popeye's chicken?
100%. Yes, president of NASA.
I'm the mayor of I'm the mayor of movies.
Mayor McCheese. But yeah.
The president of NET. We've elected you president of NASA.
Yep.
That means global ruler.
actually-
I
got
just
Mitt
pretty
Romney
much
for it.
thought he was playing his newsroom character who
Yes.
just left,
Which I loved. I love the
left
newsroom.
network
Yeah.
and just went over.
He's good
and I'm
as
fine
that
with
character.
that. I'm going to pretend that's Will McAvoy
Yeah.
as I watch The
He's
Martian
good as that
forevermore.
character.
I just read, what was it? Yahoo has the Chive just posted up something about like how Yahoo movie reviewers are dicks. And somebody gave The Martian, they said it was 1 star, and they said this is bullshit. There was not one Martian. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I saw it in 3D. They used 3D very well in that film.
I didn't see it in 3D.
I'm a big 3D
morally
junkie.
against the 3D thing.
I'm James.
feeling it.
I hop on the
I don't
James
want to pay
Cameron
13
bandwagon.
bucks. Sorry.
You what?
I don't want to pay $13 to watch like Matt Damon's face fly up in 3D.
It
It was
gives me a
really
headache.
impressive,
Well,
especially when it was
ask
gaunt.
Rich, as a movie reviewing tool, do you think? And I've talked to Mike Evans, who reviews movies for Rock 107.
Okay.
And he does not like this. Do you try to see movies natural? Do you try to avoid all the tricks?
Yes.
And trades just to see it
Are we calling tricks and trades like 3D or?
3D and XD?
Smell-o-vision.
Oh, God damn it.
You're welcome.
I took the joke out of my mouth.
It depends because sometimes 3D is just kind of there as a way to get a couple of extra bucks out of every butt they get into a seat. Sometimes you know that the filmmaker is going to really work with the 3D and they might be doing something interesting with it. Oz the Great and Powerful. I'm a big Sam Raimi fan. Not his best film, but I was, I saw that in 3D because I was hoping he'd be able to do something, a little bit, fun and energetic with the 3D.
Right.
He hasn't done anything
Didn't,
exciting in a few
but-
years.
No, I know.
Drag Me to Hell.
Drag
Me to
the
Hell.
What was the movie with
pilot
the dancing
for
goat?
Ash versus the Evil Dead was a lot of fun.
I didn't watch
I
that
like
yet.
that.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it's so much fun. The show's pretty good. There's a couple of episodes that kind of dip. There's a couple of story points they linger on for a little
Once they
too
go back
long,
to the
I think,
cabin, it's
but
just
yeah.
it's
I haven't seen it.
fantastic.
No. I
Why
didn't
did-
finish it.
Okay.
Only
Keep
4
going down the
episodes.
list. We're not afraid.
Spoiler: they go back to the cabin.
Yes.
Hey,
Sorry,
hey,
guys.
hey.
I haven't seen it,
Oops.
so
It's the Evil Dead. How can
Let's
we
go-
not?
So wait, we have to finish your
Let's
list.
go through the list rapid fire. We'll just go right up.
All right, cool. 10 Martian, 9 Straight Outta Compton, 8 Big Short, 7 Ex Machina. Really liked that. A lot of people ignored that movie. I really, really liked it.
I just think it's because they
That was
can't
number 8
pronounce
on
it.
my list.
Yeah, right. 6
Alex
Danish
Garland,
Girl.
man.
Yeah. 6 Danish Girl, 5 Spotlight, 4 previously mentioned, 3 Mad Max, Fury Road, 2 Hateful Eight, and 1 is Revenant.
Oh, I don't agree with your top 2.
Why?
Because Hateful Eight fell off a truck into my basement,
What?
When?
and
What does that mean?
Time out. Hold on.
get that dingus out of your mouth.
I know. I don't know. I think
Sack shooter.
I think the idea. I heard. I fell asleep, so I heard the last 45 minutes were good. But I think he's getting exhausting and very self-absorbed with himself.
I think this was his best one since Jackie Brown in Pulp Fiction.
Jackie Brown's the only movie I ever walked out of in my life.
Really?
Hated it.
Oh, I love
Hated it.
Yeah, no, Jackie Brown.
Inglorious Bastards, I loved. Django Unchained, I loved.
See, I thought Django was in need of an editor.
No,
Really?
I
Nope.
thought
Loved every moment of it.
What, horse dancing? Come on now.
Where was the horse dancing?
At the end, he danced with the horse.
He
Come
did
on
a
now.
little dressage, yes.
So what? He's Django. He just
was-
defeated
That's
everyone.
unacceptable.
And he was celebrating.
I don't care who you are, Quentin Tarantino.
No, you know
If
what?
you're
You know what?
listening-
You know what?
He
That
finally
goes back to
reunited with his wife
If I
in
know you-
freedom, and he
Hold on.
did a little dressage.
Listen,
all I
Let
wanna
the
say,
man
Quentin,
show off his skills.
I'm talking directly
In the
to you,
last-
because I
in
know
the-
you're listening.
Stop.
No more horse dancing.
In the
Stop
last
it.
Boy Scout, Bruce Willis, when he defeated the bad guy, did a jig. I was okay with that too.
But Bruce Willis isn't a horse. He's
who
like
cares?
slightly above a horse.
I was actually really impressed. I'm like, wow, Django knows how to make that horse dance.
Django
It's
taught
hard
the
enough to
horse dance.
ride a horse. He made it dance.
All right.
And The
I
Revenant,
have to admit,
you
Django
lost me.
Unchained was a little long.
You lost me.
And well, all of his movies are. And The Revenant is a beautiful film.
100%.
But to me, I just it wasn't like, to me it wasn't one of those things where I'm like, oh my god, everything's changed, because Inarritu did Shot with Natural Light.
Well, okay. Now, I do agree that it's not sort of a life-changing film. Sure. But was it the best this year for me? Absolutely. Visuals, performance.
So when I think of best this year, it has to have replay value
I would watch The Revenant again.
over and over again.
Yes, more than once.
I
I'd
would
watch The Revenant again.
I
like
would, but
Twister?
it wouldn't be on the top of
what?
my to rewatch list.
no.
It's
Rich, what would you say were your top ones?
let's see. I had Spotlight. Actually, my top 5 were pretty much what I said before. The
Okay.
Anomalisa, Star Wars, Tangerine, Big Short, and Spotlight. 5-1 right there.
I thought JJ used 3D
the-
well.
10 to 6. Actually, on my published top 10 list, I cheated and I went with 2 titles for number 10. Amy, the documentary, and an Indian film.
Was that really good?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta
Yes.
see it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Spoiler: she dies in the end.
Oh, ruin it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to make her go to rehab.
And she said no.
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 An Indian film by the name of Bajrani Bhajan, which I thought was really good.
One of the thousands they have produced in the last year.
True. And I want to circle back to
A good
just
one
how
slipped through the
awesome
crack.
it is that Cinemark gets Indian films in every
Yes.
now and then.
100%.
I think every week they have one.
Just about.
Yeah.
And I write about Hollywood stuff all the time. So I just go up to Cinemark and say, okay, whatever the Indian
Did you go on a
film is,
lark to go see that one?
No, I've been making it over the last year and a half, making it a point just to go see whatever Indian film they get in.
Really?
If I have a chance.
Yep.
Just because I'm walking into a movie I know nothing about.
Yep.
How often
Real quick.
is it in English?
Mostly subtitles. A lot of time they're speaking in Hindi, and then they'll, for whatever reason, and I have no idea why, what cultural thing informs this, they'll say a line or two in English. And then they'll go back, into foreign language.
That's so strange.
It is.
No,
you know,
the
and it's something
Filipino
I'm still trying to
cinema,
work
you
out.
slip in and out.
it's-
Yeah,
No,
well,
he's saying like 1 or 2 lines in the entire film.
Yeah.
That's it
Yeah.
for no reason.
just for,
I mean, are they in like the middle of a sentence and they're just like, Vin Diesel's
Pretty
the
much,
best.
they'll have,
Back
like,
to
3 or
Hindi.
a section of dialogue that's maybe 5-6 sentences, and then the 5th and 6th sentence is in English, and the first 4 were in Hindi or whatever.
Does that usually get you off guard? You're like, that was a weird place to put
it
that.
does. I've been trying to figure out exactly why that happens. Is it because they need some kind of emphasis? Is it some kind of weird holdover from when they were, a colonial part of Britain?
Yeah.
I just can't figure it out.
Can you imagine the Queen of England? You can speak your tongue, but every fifth and sixth
the
sentence must be
worst.
English.
Do you suddenly think you're on an Apple support line when you hear the English? Hello, this is Apple. I am Bob. How can I help you?
Oh, now I feel comfortable. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, since I already spoke directly to Quentin before, I just want to speak to Cinemark directly real quick. So you guys can carry. Hold on. So wait, you guys can carry an Indian film every week, which is great. It's awesome, but you can't put room in theaters. Really?
It is in theaters now. It does.
Oh, is it? Is it around now?
Yeah.
Oh well, I look foolish.
And Slumdog Millionaire 2.
No.
Now playing
You
too.
sound foolish.
Sound.
Not
You don't look it yet. Well, until we get online.
Stick with me, audience.
Yeah.
But at
I
number
sound
9, I
foolish.
had Sleeping with the Enemy, a romantic comedy from Sundance back in January with Jason Sudeikis and
Really?
yeah,
Yep.
Allison Brie.
Isn't he dating someone hot?
Yeah,
Jason
Sleeping with-
Sudeikis?
Yeah, it's
Sleeping
Olivia-
with Friends.
Is that who it is? Is it her?
I love Alison Brie.
Sleeping with other people.
No,
Sleeping
Sudeikis
with other
is.
people. is what I was trying to say.
Oh my, Olivia Wilde.
That's who
I
he's
even wrote it
dating.
down wrong.
Yeah.
She was on House.
Yes.
Yeah, I bowled with her.
Every time you have
Like,
a brain
for
fart
real?
like that
Yeah,
after
for
your
real.
dad's
Oh,
been
wow.
diagnosed
Alison Brie was on House?
with Alzheimer's.
No,
it's
Was she as
really
good at-
scary.
Olivia Wilde was on it.
Yeah.
Was she as good at bowling as Alice Cooper is at golf?
I don't know. I have no point of reference.
No.
I did golf behind who's that Motown singer? I forget his name. I'll remember it later. What's number 7?
Well, number 8 was Ex Machina, number 7 Brooklyn, and then number 6 was Inside Out.
Oh, all right. See, you have a mix. You have a balanced bag.
I was trying for that too, and some
Yeah.
people are like, I didn't want to be like, well, I need to put certain representation, like I need to get a documentary in here. My initial list of like
You sincerely
was
felt that
about
way.
20 films, and even that's why I have 2 in for number 10. It felt hard to pull either one of those out, and I was still also looking at other films like Room, like The Revenant, Straight Outta Compton, and a few others that I was just like, I could do a top 15 maybe, but I had a lot of, I guess you would call them honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So wait, what's your number 1?
My number 1 was Spotlight.
Okay, I don't know if that has a lot of replay for me because I'm the boom and cool movie guy where I'm like, if the more shit blows up,
Oh, same
the better.
Here. Same here. I
So
I
Mad
love
Max
a
is your
good-
number 1?
Huh?
So Mad Max would have to be your number 1.
Mad Max to me, I mean, Jesus, you're waiting, what, 30 years for that? It was worth the wait.
It was.
I don't know. The thing, I read an article where it was like, it's like, basically the article, and I forget where I read it, but the article was basically like, you have all these young hotshot, think they're fucking awesome filmmakers coming out trying to do new and exciting things, and here comes a 70-year-old guy to blow you all away.
Yeah. Did it better than all of them.
Yeah.
Practical effects.
And I think
And
he has
then
a good shot at Best Director, by the way.
absolutely.
You think he should get it?
He has a good shot at it.
Well, should get it. I think he's as equal as the top 3 in my mind for it. Yeah.
Now, do you include direct? Do I keep interrupting you? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, okay. So, do you include directing as in like the guy with the master plan, or do you include, or do you just kind of boil director
That's
down
a
to
great
in charge of
question.
performance?
I read so much about these films that I know the inner workings of it, but I'm not sounding like I'm an insider at all, but I know George Miller, for instance, has just worked so long and hard on this movie and has vetoed a lot of other versions of Mad Max to get to this and what he chose for his final vision. And again, as you said, somebody who is his age, with of any movie this year, the one that has the most visual remnants. I mean, think about these hot rods with these guys on these swinging sticks coming down. I don't think any other movie this year leaves such an indelible mark. I think that's part of it.
But do you think it's iconic and like beautiful in a Cirque du Soleil way?
It goes beyond that. I think
was
you know,
Cirque du Soleil.
Well, I mean, because when people go like, "Who's the best director?" You know, I always think the director is the person in charge of performance, and if the director does their job right, the performances are fantastic.
certainly that came into it too, and the performances in that movie were phenomenal. I mean, they're phenomenal in Spotlight, a number of other movies, but this is a very different movie, and this is something that you were bringing up. You know, he said, "Is Fury Road your favorite movie?" And I know Star Wars was on your list as well. We've entered. We're in a very vaulted realm right now, where we have blockbusters among the Best Picture nominees, which is so rare. I mean, you think back to when Star Wars came out in '77. Star Wars would never be up there with, you know,
It was
Spotlight.
The original Star Wars in '77 was nominated for Best Picture.
It was
Lost,
Best Picture, yeah.
lost to
Yes, it
Annie
was.
Hall.
Lost Annie Hall, but it didn't become a standard.
Woody Allen.
It didn't become a standard where like the blockbuster became like a, you know.
And I think Jaws maybe 2 years earlier, maybe Close Encounters. But you're right. And genre is
They were the early
generally
examples
overlooked.
of the blockbuster. And
Yeah.
like beyond that, it just became like kind of a joke that these movies that made so much money. But that's why they opened up to 10 nominees. If based on the numbers quotient, it could be.
I
up
think
to
they
10
open it up so they
nominees.
get more people to watch.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's it. But it opened up to blockbusters basically, and the quality.
So it's like, here's your arty film, and we're also going to throw in.
the quality of blockbusters has gotten much better. I want to say. Overall, you know, the Dark Knight trilogy, etc. But I was having this conversation with John McCulloch, who's been a guest on the show before. The other
McCulloch.
day. Yeah, and you know, he feels, and I feel to a degree that
He feels strongly about whatever he says.
yes, he does. That's why I love him. But
I
you
have
know,
to pee.
The quality of the
believe you,
blockbusters
John.
has gotten better, but also the field for we'll say the independent fare has gotten it's gotten harder for independent fare to kind of breach that you know, that fold and come in. You know, that's why Sundance, which is taking place this week, is so important. But
It's not.
Yeah,
I don't
Well,
think so.
But
I don't think
you know, one of
Sundance
my
is.
films, Sleeping with Other People, was a big Sundance hit, and they just fumbled the release. No one
Yeah.
saw it. Whereas Tangerine was also a Sundance film last year, and the right people saw it because it started to get a lot of you know, critical buzz, and that's what induced
And then
me to
it-
check it out.
Well, also
Netflix.
there's a strange
And was,
attractor about that film. It was all shot on an iPhone.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Sure.
iPhone. But overlook that.
But I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing that's the thing that's going to get, if that's the thing where it's like, I got to see this movie shot on an iPhone. If that's the thing that gets them through the door to make them like it and walk away feeling
You can't
good
ignore
about it.
I guess, but yeah, but don't dismiss it because you heard it was shot on an iPhone.
No.
I'm really good.
That's where it gets scary. Is like you could, and I don't think the marketing team ever mentioned it. It was just like, this is a really good film.
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. I heard it was good.
it's on
it's-
Netflix right now.
it's phenomenal.
Oh, is it on Netflix right now?
I think it's 88 minutes, so it's not even that long a sit for you. You know, if you got, I got an hour.
I could sit for a while.
Yeah.
You'd be
Okay.
surprised.
It's an impressive movie.
When you were watching Hateful Eight, did you include your own intermission for that, or
No, but here's it. Like it's. I understand the concept of being nostalgic. I understand longing for days of better past. I get that. You know, I was listening to who's the guy that wrote Breaking Bad? What's his name?
Vince Gilligan?
Vince Gilligan, who used to write for X-Files. Like, that's where he got his start. And, you know, they were talking about Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, and it was a podcast. And he's like, you know, Breaking Bad was one of the last TV shows to shoot on film. He goes, I fought it forever, like the digital switch. And he goes, I don't even, you know, he goes, there's a magic to film. He goes, but I don't know why I stopped, like why I fought it so hard. He goes, like, because the moment you shoot it, you digitize it anyways. He's like, so now we're working on Ari's, and you know, the Revenant was shot in the new RE65. So, I mean, I don't get it. Like he's kicking and screaming. You know, I think to not leave the 60s or the 70s
That's his whole thing,
behind.
though. Like that's his whole shebang. His whole thing.
No, Jamie Foxx called The Ghetto
Oh no, not Jamie.
at the Golden Globes. No, when he said like
His whole
he made some comment at the Golden Globes, and Django came out and kind of just went, "Pfft."
Yeah. Well, his whole thing is Quentin, I'm talking to you again. His whole.
You know, this isn't a direct line to him, right?
Shut your filthy mouth. So the first.
I mean, you can keep trying. I'll keep laughing at you.
His whole thing is that he learned from those classic films. Is that those are his inspiration. He didn't go to film school. He watched movies and was a fan of movies that now makes movies.
Yeah, but I
that's his
also
whole thing.
think his work is very derivative. When you think about it,
In a
he's
way,
like
sure.
he's like you know, we're gonna make Grindhouse, which goes back to those, you know, the double movie nights and blah blah blah. Like he's never really done something that wasn't derivative of something else. You understand do you understand that?
Is it really bad?
And
He makes it so much different.
But how is he like, I'm gonna tackle the Western? All right, Quentin, I'm going to shoot it in 70 millimeter. All right, Quentin.
Essentially,
like, no one's going to see.
What you're saying is he already kind of puts a handicap on his creativity because what he's saying already
is
going in saying, all right, I have to make it this way, you know, in this genre, done this way, before he even gets to actually, like, you know, sitting down and writing everything.
Yeah, like he's a big Leone fan, right? So he's a big Sergio Leone. So obviously, the Hateful Eight and Django and like those movies are gonna look like spaghetti. And he'll say, "I love spaghetti westerns. That's what I like to do."
Right.
When he's saying, "I'm making a spaghetti western," that's what he's putting himself there. That's like me going like, it's when Abrams did Super 8.
Yeah.
Oh, his Spielberg.
It's gonna, we know what you're doing.
Well, we're also in this era too, where I think, and I'm sure, you know, Rich can definitely attest to this. You know so much, and Jeff too. Really, you hear so much about the movie. You're reading so much about it. It affects the way that you actually see the movie when you finally watch it, in a way, because you're reading so much about, you know, oh, the director went through this and he said that and that sort of thing. Like, there was more talk, I think, about Tarantino, you know, talking out about police brutality than I think there was about Hateful Eight. So by the time Hateful Eight came out, so many people were talking about that there was so less focus on the actual film. You know, like, now we're just getting to the point where we're talking about Hateful Eight as a movie, because now it's, you know, more people have seen it. But like, there's so much conversation about him that it's hard to take that out of it. Like, because he's such a talking head too. Like, he's always on, he's always saying something. He's always on television. He's always doing these interviews.
Like
and
a
he's
duck's feet underwater.
And he says this, you know, some crazy bombastic shit sometimes, and it makes you kind of have an idea of what you think he is or what he's doing going into the film. Because like, you know, like you said, like Hateful Eight kind of comes off a little self-indulgent in parts.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you know what? Any other director would have cut here, but you're going to keep going because you're like, oh, no, I'm Tarantino and I'm putting you through this, and you're going to watch it because I'm Tarantino and I'm telling you to watch it. You know, like that kind of thing.
Like,
So,
I feel like it's almost sacrilege to be like, I didn't like Hateful Eight.
Right. Yeah. There's all, and
I'm not saying I didn't. I just fell asleep.
And I say this as a Tarantino fan. I have all of his films. I enjoy all his movies. But yeah, there does get to a point where I think he is starting to get a little bit self-indulgent in himself, and I'm being kind by saying that. Like, I think he's a little too much like, I'm going to Tarantino this up. You know what I mean? Like, this particular scene or this particular performance.
I mean,
that's what people expect from me.
When he's an adjective, when you do something Tarantino-esque,
right? Right.
What are you doing?
It almost becomes self-parody a little bit.
But isn't that what he's doing? Isn't
But
his
in other words, he took. Look, this is a guy who got his film education in a blockbuster.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I get. That's fine. I like James Cameron, right? I like David Fincher. I like F. Gary Gray. I like, you know, all these guys. If there was an era, you know, God forbid if I ever went out and said, you know, I'm going to do this, you know, dolphin murder movie.
What?
Because I love Jaws.
As one does.
You know? Like, out of a John Cusack. What was that movie? Is the dolphin with rabies or something?
Film, right? Dolphin murder?
No, what was the John
out.
Cusack movie where it was like
out.
Better Off Dead or something? There was one where it was like the dolphin had rabies.
What?
No, it wasn't One
was
Crazy
awesome.
Summer, was it?
It was One Crazy Summer where the dolphin had rabies.
Waterworld?
Yeah. Savage Steve Haltman, the guy who also did direct Better Off Dead.
But I mean, that's like me. That's like
I love Better Off Dead.
It's awesome.
Unapologetically, huge,
No,
huge
that's
fan
it's
of that
the most
movie.
eminently quotable movie.
It is. It's fantastic.
The problem with him, right? And even like to go as far as to get Ennio Morricone to do the fucking score. Like he's literally trying to be Sergio Leone.
Yes.
Stop. There was already a Sergio Leone. Why don't you just try to be Tarantino? Like I like Tarantino, but he's like a self-proclaimed plagiarist.
But here's the thing.
And he admits to it, and under the guise of homage.
But I appreciate his willingness to want to recreate theatrical experiences of yesteryear.
Yep.
Like a 70 millimeter road show with an intermission. When have we ever seen a film like that? It's always about
We're never going to.
keep
They
those
don't
movies
exist.
Short to get the butts in the seats and then get them out of the theater so we can get some more butts in the seats.
But here's the interesting thing. They used 70 millimeter at the time was the same thing as going IMAX.
Just about, yeah.
It's basically a trick. It might be beautiful, but there's only about 40 theaters in America that can show it.
True.
So you're never going to get like the full experience, regardless of where you go.
Even the critic screening that I went to, they said, "Yep, you're getting the roadshow experience." And then I show up in Philly at the Ritz Bourse, and it was the roadshow, but it was a digital screening. So
Right.
I was kind of disappointed. I'll admit that.
But I mean, like, here's a guy who's like totally against, new technology and blah blah blah. Like, trust me, they didn't edit Hateful Eight on a Steinbeck. You know what I mean? So it's like, stop, just and do your own thing. Like I heard him mention that he's gonna tackle horror as a genre next. I don't know if that's true, but I'm curious on who he'd pay homage to.
He's also planning on moving into the TV realm. Like he said, he's probably not going to do another film. He's probably going to go to TV.
I enjoy television now more than I do film.
I think he would work great as
far as stories
in
go.
TV.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just find it way more immersive.
Can't
like
wait
Saturday
for
night at like 10 o'clock, I watched all of season 3 so far of The Blacklist. That's what I do.
It's a good show. I like that show.
James Spader's awesome.
Yeah, I like that show.
I want to see that guy read the phone book. I want to hear that.
Isn't that what he did in Age of Ultron?
Ooh.
Wasn't that?
That was a shitty movie, wasn't it?
Bad. It was so bad.
I thought Joss Whedon was going to slit his wrists on Twitter.
It was bad. I'm never going to make movies again.
I feel so
Good,
bad
Joss.
for that dude, man.
Good.
But that's what happens when you get into the corporate machinations
Can't
of
blame
everything
him for
that
that.
works.
Totally.
That wasn't.
You know?
We're coming
It's
up.
like blaming Edgar Wright for Ant-Man. It's not his fault. He didn't direct it.
No.
Isn't this March the 20th anniversary of the premiere of Buffy on TV?
Oh, wow. Very well could be.
I know it was March. I can't remember if it was 96 or 97.
I mean, but here...
I interviewed him back in the day. For the
Did you
Times
really?
Leader. Yeah. Back when he was like, "Oh yeah, I did some rewrites on this movie called Toy Story that no one's ever going to hear of." It was incredible. Really nice guy. Yeah, I don't think I can get him on the phone now, but
you can try.
well, yeah, but
You can't win the lotto if you don't buy a ticket.
Put him on speaker.
oh yeah, hold on. Let me
Call
get-
him right now.
I felt so bad for him after Age of Ultron came out because you could tell he wanted to like say all this like I just went through fucking hell to make this and it didn't really turn out how I wanted it or whatever. And he's trying to say now, oh yeah, well, we had our disagreements, but no, it's the film I wanted to make. Give it a couple years till he's completely out of that whole web and out of all the legal shit and everything. He's gonna be talking so much shit because I the whole movie I kept feeling like
I debated death. Thanks, Joss.
it just didn't feel like him at all. I mean, other than the fact that he had to immediately kill a character,
Yes.
like that was essential. Which I have a piece that I'm working on probably in the next couple weeks that I'm going to put out that I really can't. And this it's a trend in comic books, and now it's blending into the comic book movies where we meet a quota where we have to kill a character to by the end of this film to feel important. And I feel like that's such a handicap going into things that we have to have at least one character sacrifice every movie.
I think the character death here, though, due to its and one other
The character death in reference to...
Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Avengers Age of Ultron. Because both Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch kind of have that dual sharing between 20th Century Fox's X-Men rights
Right.
and what Marvel Studio has in terms of film rights for characters.
Right.
I kind of got the feeling that they said, okay, you guys can use
Once.
Fox basically said, go ahead, use Quicksilver and
get
Scarlet
one.
Witch. But we really liked how Quicksilver came off in our last X-Men movie, so we want to use him again more. And everything I've read about the next X-Men film says, yep, Quicksilver's going to be in it. They've made no mention of Scarlet Witch, so I think they basically just made a deal that says, look,
You can have
use
her.
him. You can have him for one
Right.
movie. Kill them off, and then just keep using Scarlet Witch. I honestly think that's
Keep
the deal
Elizabeth
that went
Olsen.
down.
We'll never take her back.
Which
You can
But
have her.
no one has ever said anything to that effect.
Yeah,
but
But you know that's behind the scenes
Yeah,
what's
that's
going
feeling I
on.
have.
Which, like, creatively, I feel like that's such a shitty way to write movies, though.
Yeah.
You know, like to go in and here's the source material you can use, but you can use that and you can't do that and you can do this and you can, okay, now you can write your movie. It's like,
Well, can you
okay, what's
imagine-
left? Like, what can I do at this point?
Can you imagine the point of view of a filmmaker who's a good, like Joss Whedon's a good filmmaker, and he's a great writer, right? But can you imagine like going in to do something that you've been dying to do? Like I think he knocked out of the park with the
That's what-
Avengers,
right.
And then they walk in, and they're like, "Thanks, Joss. Look, here's all the toys you can play with, and you can't make up any new
Yeah,
ones."
like we have to set up, and
we're only gonna let you play with this
so
one.
You
Yep.
have to have this scene in here. You know, like it just felt so just
Kind of
thrown
have,
together.
Yeah, but now he's not. Now he's not a director. Now he's not a filmmaker.
Right.
Now he's a foreman.
Well, the Edgar Wright situation was the same thing. Edgar Wright came in with a vision. Marvel said no.
No, they said yes for years.
But
Yeah, and
but then he got there. But then he got there and was like, "Here's the things I want to do." And they're like, "You want? Excuse me?" He's like, "No."
Well, they're like, this doesn't fit into the MCU, so we have to make
Well,
it.
they
And he
didn't-
just didn't want to do it.
And then he did what Josh should have done. And he said, "No, I'm not doing this."
Yeah, but he
If I
probably
can't-
couldn't because his manager was like, "We need the money, or they're gonna sue you for breach." Like that's what it comes down to. There's no like the thing that like, and we're probably getting off topic, but I a lot of people don't realize that
Ultron
it's
was
not.
2015. It's good.
It's a business, and there's agreements and there's contracts and there's all this stuff that like nobody hears about and nobody cares to hear about unless they're people like me, where I'm like, that's what happened. It's the entertainment business. They're going to take your properties. Like, look, if Daredevil wasn't, or if not even Daredevil, like Deadpool, if the fans didn't speak out about that, we wouldn't be getting a Daredevil movie. Or Deadpool.
Oh my
Scary
God,
Deadpool.
what's
Damn
wrong
it.
with you?
I keep seeing red on the screen, and I don't know whether it's Daredevil or Deadpool or.
If Ryan Reynolds, I know Ryan, you're listening. If you ruin another,
He's not gonna ruin
if
it.
you ruin another superhero for me, Ryan, I'm coming for you.
How many's he ruined so
Green
far?
Lantern.
Early word I'm hearing is
Wonderful.
You don't have to be worrying about that.
From the
Can't
trailers, I'm not concerned.
Can't be more than Ben
If
Affleck.
it sticks close to that script that leaked a couple of
Batfleck?
years ago, it's really sticks close to the Deadpool of the comics.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, a lot of
Rated
that.
R. That's the way Deadpool should be.
Not that I read that
So-
script, but
Fell off a truck.
we have a pause.
the truck.
I,
Exactly.
I'm gonna
I
take
didn't
the
read
pause.
Hateful Eight when
We
it
have a
leaked
pause?
a couple
We have
years
a
ago
pause.
either.
I'm going to take the pause. I
Wink,
just learned
wink.
a thing.
Sorry,
that-
Quentin.
Common Core?
No. So apparently, it's theoretically possible for any mammal to contract rabies. So when we're talking
Wait, did
about
I say the dolphin with rabies? You went and looked that up?
Yes. And
So this is what you do when I think you're ignoring me speaking.
yeah, I learned a thing.
Fact checking me.
So dolphins and whales can theoretically get rabies. However, since it's transmitted via saliva, it's much more likely for a pilliped, like a seal,
You need-
or a walrus to
Why
contract
couldn't you just say
it.
seal
You're
or
describing the
walrus?
plot of
However,
Waterworld.
it's also very unlikely that they would get a bite. However, there's a lake in Russia where there's an outbreak in the marine mammals there
Of rabies.
Because
of
of
a
course.
similar disease, canine distemper virus.
Putin bit every animal in there, and that's how they
Canine
all got
distemper
rabies.
virus.
He
which
did it
is
himself.
Transmitted similarly to rabies. But I did not know that a dolphin could theoretically get rabies.
John Cusack, educating generations
Wow.
from the 80s.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
All right, what's next?
All right, let
After the dolphin, after we've proven that sea mammals
Now that
can
we've
get
gotten
rabies.
that out of the way.
and if we get into superhero movies, we'll probably never get off that. So
I had to
let's-
break that up. Thank you.
Yes, let's go on to
I think you should just fart next time.
the Oscars.
There's a
and
movie in
this whole-
Sundance about Daniel Radcliffe
I
farting.
saw that.
All right, so do you,
Wait, what are
do you
we
have
talking
any, Do you have
about?
any predictions?
Daniel Radcliffe as a
First-
corpse farting.
farting. Yes,
Yes.
I saw the article.
They
about
had
that.
me at farting corpse when I heard about this movie. I tell you.
So that was
Dreamcatcher.
near and dear to your heart right there
Oh.
already, Rich.
Oh, to be in
Wait,
Park
did you
City
just
this
bring up
weekend.
Dreamcatcher?
I have a spell to make
I
it
did,
not
yeah.
smell.
Dreamcatcher, man.
I like Dreamcatcher.
Unfortunately, audience, I know you're listening.
No. Unfortunately, Quentin, I have to leave.
Quentin, Ryan, Cinemark, I have to go. I'm sorry. You know, I know you're hanging on every word, but
Don't stop, man.
I have to bid
Just
you
keep
adieu.
going.
I have to bid you adieu.
Why do you have to
sorry.
bid us adieu?
Well, I have a thing I need to attend.
What's your thing that you need to
I
attend?
have a soccer game because I'm 10 years old. You know, it'll be great.
Did somebody cut up oranges for you when
Well,
you get
that was
there?
actually going to be my joke. It'll be great when I come off the field and my coach gives me some fresh orange slices. It'll be.
Is he
lovely.
gonna?
I mean, I hope so.
Look, I got no teeth.
That's what I go for. I go for the orange slices.
Well, thank you
luck,
for coming
man.
on, Joe.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you on for a longer one
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I would love to be on for a while.
after we watch Batman v Superman.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be great.
That'll be interesting.
Bring me on for that one. I can be angry for 2 hours. It'll be great.
Oh, this would be great. I'll make sure the headphones work.
Nice meeting you.
The red capes are coming.
All right, so Oscar predictions.
If you're playing,
White people will win.
Touche.
Chris Rock will have an amazing monologue.
Kanye West will probably interrupt something.
Wouldn't that be great if Kanye shows and just fucking...
President Bush doesn't care about white people.
And then Austin Powers has this look of pure horror. Give to 9/11. I don't even know who the hell's honestly, like I in the last like 6 years, I probably stopped watching the Oscars. I just don't even care anymore. I think Ice Cube said it best. He goes, "Why are you going to boycott something you don't go to?"
For me, the Oscars have always been, and this is probably why I'm not getting too upset about the whole Oscar so white thing, is the Oscars are great when they validate your own personal taste. The Oscars suck when they don't validate your own personal taste. So
It's a catch-22.
yeah. So basically, the Oscars are awesome. You know, Peter Jackson got it for Return of the King. Yay. And then I can't believe, so-and-so lost this year. Or the Oscars suck. Boo. So I watch them. I have fun. I cheer when, films I like win. I kind of use it as a barometer on like films I should probably catch up on in terms of like the nominations. I surprised myself. Had seen already 3 of the 5 best documentary nominations before they were announced.
Is that follow-up to The Act of Killing? Is that nominated?
Yeah. Look of Silence.
I want to see that.
Yeah. That's
Did you see it?
Yes. Amazing.
First one, just I didn't. At the end of it,
Chilling.
I didn't know what I need. I didn't know what to do. Like the movie ended, and I was like, Then my fiance's like, "What the fuck did we just watch?" And I'm like, "I don't know, hun."
Is that your impression
apparently
of it?
there's murder, and then they film it. What do you think about? I think it's a non-issue. I think this
cares?
Oscar is so. I really don't, and that's not coming from a place of white privilege.
Okay.
I just think it's a non-issue. I think they're making it an issue so people pay attention because the ratings were down last year.
I think it's disappointing, and I'm a fairly progressive guy, and I was like, well, okay, Concussion, Will Smith, maybe. It was a good performance.
But you
in a
can't say it's
mediocre
racist. He's
movie.
been nominated like 4 times before.
He was nominated twice, and
What was it? Ali and
I don't remember the other.
Theory of
both-
Happiness or something?
Both times Will Smith was nominated, he lost to another African American actor.
Was it Denzel?
Denzel Washington was the one, and
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
Jamie
Foxx.
Foxx was the other. Yeah.
The best movie that
So-
Will Smith was in was A Winter's Tale.
What?
Yeah.
I have not caught up with that.
Okay.
I mean, my
Why when you say stuff like that, why do you kind of look around the room to see if anyone's paying attention to you?
So I don't
movie Will Smith was in was
I don't get very many words in these things once the conversation gets started. So I want to make sure that you're not going to interrupt me.
No, you can interject, but I don't
try.
think. No, you should just be like, guys, shut the woman speaking, and we'll all be like, we understand. We're men. We're stupid. You just tell us to shut the fuck up. We'll do it. Why are you looking at me like this is a revelation? You think Rich's wife, when Richard's wife goes, Rich, shut the fuck up, Rich does what he's told.
I think Rich's wife's more nice than that.
I don't think so. Has she ever told you shut the fuck up? Had to at least once.
Probably at least once or twice.
Yeah, because mine tells me every day.
But I probably deserved it.
What? I'm not saying we don't deserve it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we're talking and you're like, hey, shut the fuck up.
I really like A Winter's Tale.
What is that?
It's got
tell.
Colin Farrell in it
Oh, stop watching Colin Farrell movies.
and Will Smith and
Huh? I'm okay with you watching Will Smith
and Russell
movies.
Crowe.
Wait, is that
I'm in a Fukin
when
period.
was this?
Just like a couple of years ago.
Is this the movie about the sea nymph or something?
What? No.
What the hell happened in A Winter's Tale?
That was Splash.
You're thinking of Splash.
No, I'm telling you, Colin Farrell was in another movie about some sort of sea
Before
nymph.
she dated Jackson Brown.
Daryl Hannah dated Jackson Brown.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, long time.
And then they made a movie about
She's
it.
got to
called
be
Smack.
somebody's baby. You know what I'm saying?
Daryl. No, do you think? I mean, no. Sincerely, like, okay, Lauren, you're intelligent, more intelligent than this room combined.
I think it's a club.
You think the Oscars are a club?
It's a club.
That's it.
That's basically it. In a couple
Hamlet,
of years,
it's a play.
it's going to be a non-issue because we're all going to be some shade of brown. Doesn't matter.
I don't think in a couple of years, maybe like a millennia.
Not really. No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think it's going to happen in our lifetime.
I just think it's a non-issue. Do you guys think it's a non-issue? I mean, because here's the part where I might get in trouble, right? If I say it's a non-issue, I'm racist, right? If I say it is an issue, am I feeding the flames of it because I feel like I have to?
Right.
Right.
So, like in the terms of Catch-22 that we were talking before, like for a white person, there's really no. I'm trapped in a box, and I can't really have.
It just speaks to the how
many
were
Latinos are
how were
nominated?
They nominated is the question, and were they not nominated because there wasn't enough opportunity to make films that included a more diverse?
Straight Outta Compton has
cast or
proved
anything?
that you don't need that ethnicity. We need to throw that card out the door.
Yeah.
As far as films by black filmmakers, I think you need to say, hey, it is profitable.
I just have a problem taking the whole thing seriously because of who's saying it. Like, the Smith family should not be representing good actors here, in terms of who should be
Jada's
representing.
on Gotham.
Like,
what are you talking about?
Jada was in a metal band.
Perfect
First scene in
example.
Gotham.
She was in Jason's Lyric.
Not only is Gotham
Mike,
awful, but
XXL.
she's probably the worst part of Gotham. In my
You think
opinion.
so?
Yeah.
You don't like
She's-
Gotham?
I don't at all. I really don't like it. Like,
I got a kick out of it.
I pretty much watch all the superhero shows. I try to watch all the superhero movies, and I just cannot get into that show for the life of me. And
Gotham shows a little bit of genius every now and then with an actor or, a little bit of a plot point, and so much of it surrounding it is just, I think, people's idea of what is in a comic book these days without ever having read one in
Right.
the past 30, 40 years. And it's just like, it's, I just see that potential being squandered week in and week out on that show. And it's really depressing.
That's another thing I've noticed too, that a lot when it comes to those types of characters, people assume they know more about them than the people like
Who
they're
actually know about them?
Well, yeah, the people who've actually been following them, because especially with the internet, we've kind of like Deadpool is a great example where the Deadpool in the comics became now the Deadpool that you see in the movie and everything because of the internet. Because there's a guy who cosplays as Deadpool and goes to conventions and dances in front of people as Deadpool, we now think that's something that Deadpool does. Deadpool doesn't do that. That's something that somebody did who was a fan of that. And then everyone goes, oh, okay, that's who Deadpool is, because they don't want to actually read a book.
No.
They just want to watch a 5-minute YouTube video and go, oh, okay, that's who he is. So now that's the Deadpool I want to see in the
So
movie.
Steven from Wisconsin has fucked it all up for us.
Yes. And trust me, ask either owner of the two comic shops in the Valley,
Yeah.
and they'll tell you the movies, the TV shows don't really drive sales. No one goes,
That's true.
hey, I just saw the X-Men movie. I want to go to the, Comics on the Green or Rubber Mallet and buy myself some X-Men books. It's not happening. which is a shame.
Right. And you think it works that way, you know, and a lot of times they even market the
Because they think they're all
comics
caught
that
up
way.
because they saw the movie.
They'll change the way a character looks or something like that to reflect the movies or something like that. And it usually, it doesn't really change anything for the most part. The people who are going to read it are going to read it. People who don't. Not that I'm saying it necessarily has to reflect those books all the time, you know, on the screen or anything like that. But I feel like people have an idea of who the character is based on these little bits and pieces that they see in pop culture, and that's what they put together.
And you don't even get that kind of bleed over for something like Star Wars. I mean, Marvel has some really nice Star Wars books out right now.
Sure.
But you know, everybody's like, "Oh, that Poe Dameron character was pretty cool," and I'm like, you know, there's a mini series that takes place right after Return of the Jedi, which features his parents. And, you know, you get a little bit of background on him. They're like, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know more until it requires me to actually go do something.
Yeah.
You know, and invest some more time. Yeah, no.
Nah.
What are you doing? What's going on?
I'm including you.
I have nothing to say until there's a Mara Jade character.
So are you seriously like, I'm going to shut up about Star Wars
Yeah.
until there's until the character that, wow.
The Emperor's right hand. I'd like her back. Yes.
The Emperor's dead.
Great character. I enjoyed her in the Timothy Zahn novels when they first came out many years ago, when I should have been studying for my finals in college, when that first book came out, like the week of finals, my sophomore year, I think. But you know, I don't think they're gonna, if they're gonna use anything out of the EU that they've set to the side, I don't think it's gonna be her. I hate to say it, I'm sorry, but
Look at how defeated you are.
I've just broken her heart.
Are we totally outside of the race question with the Academy Awards?
Yeah.
Can I bring it back for one quick?
No, please bring it back.
You know,
Yeah, let's talk about racism.
That Lando.
we don't talk about it.
Wait, did you see the Oral
The
Knots
40
thing
don't
where they
get you, the 5 will.
Did you see the Oral Knots episode that they just did where they redid Yub Nub or Nub Yub or whatever the hell it's called at the end of Jedi, and they took the music,
No.
the score out, and then it cuts to Lando, and all you hear is the
Oh, that horrible clapping he does at the end.
it just cuts to that.
I would love
They took the whole ending of Return of the Jedi, took John Williams' score out, and redid all the audio. So like when Vader's burning, you'll slowly hear plastic sizzle. Oh, it's brilliant. You got to see it. It's so good. But like one of the last shots is Lando behind everybody just looking around like, this is cool. This is a cool club. And he just has the clap. And I just think it's really funny. George Lucas was really ahead of his time by casting Lando.
Right.
Why are you looking? All right, Jeff, racism.
racist. Yes. And go. Well,
Good luck.
yeah, thank you. Because I am such a great spokesperson for racism.
I don't even think you're a good
white
spokesperson for
guy.
white people.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I know how to take that. I do. And it's
Yeah, you're almost translucent.
thank
I
you.
wouldn't want to
Wow.
be known as a good spokesman for racism.
I don't want to be a spokesman for anything.
We have great examples over the last 5 years, a decade, of the African American demographic taking over the box office for certain films. But I'm sorry if it rankles anybody's feathers, but they're not quality films.
Yeah, but here's the scary part. That's the movies that they're greenlighting to hit the demo that they think is right.
Absolutely.
So is it
comes
so
down
is it
to
the
a
fault
question of quality, and
But is it an entire is it their fault that the people who are willing to give them money, the only way for them to be filmmakers is for them to make ride along?
No, but it establishes a precedent that demographic does have box office power. Whether or not what gets greenlit is,
I mean, Tyler Perry should stop making movies.
Absolutely.
That's my opinion as a filmmaker. But I mean, Tyler Perry self-finances everything that he does, and he found a formula that works.
they greenlit
Or
crappy
quote-unquote
horror movies all
works.
the time with the young, white, hot leading women from usually TV series like Marjorie from a Game of Thrones and Natalie Dormer, and now this past weekend Lauren Cohen from The Walking Dead. And they, even if they are critically derided, they make money. So it's still it's just a matter of quality. And this demographic has a lot of staying and staying power as well. But the problem comes down to quality. And I can't. Idris Elba, do I think he should have been nominated for Best Actor among all these other people? Possibly. I don't think it was a slight. I definitely don't think Will Smith was a slight. I just think it comes down to, categorically, what is the best film and best performances out there. And now suddenly are people asking that we have like a 50-50 battlefield of white versus...
No, I'm not saying that, but
I know
look
you're
at...
not, but I'm saying, how diverse do they want the Academy to get? Is it representative of...
I don't know.
I think it should be more representative of,
it's probably a bigger... not probably. It definitely is a bigger question than, like, does the Academy need to change? Mm-hmm. You know, everyone's in an uproar about the Academy. The Academy is there to serve the studio.
Yes.
The Academy Awards are just there as a marketing tool to say, I remember when it used to be when the trailer was Oscar winner, Dustin Hoffman, and now it's Oscar nominee.
You have to remember why the Academy Awards even exist in the first place. It's one of the best examples of it was invented during
it's the 30s, right?
Depression.
Yeah.
To give people a distraction and create a sensation because nobody was going to the movies anymore. The purpose.
So now we're going to give awards,
and how can the awards is to drive more ticket sales, movie sales, to bring people back to the movie. So if you really think about what the purpose of it is, and still is, to drive more sales.
I heard an analogy, and I forget who it was. It was like, how can you say that someone is best actor or best actress? Like, in other words, like Matt Damon from The Martian, right?
Yeah.
If there were Matt Damon and 4 other actors who played that role, then maybe you can say who the best actor was.
Well, that's why, in the past couple of years, they've changed it to not best actor, but achievement in achievement in acting or whatever. And they say
that's such
the Academy
it's
Award
so bullshit.
goes to, which is,
it's all bullshit.
Semantics.
Why are we even
bullshit.
fucking talking about this? Why is it relevant? Seriously, fuck the Academy Awards until they win.
Because
one.
we all,
fuck them.
Because we're all crazy about it on the night of, even though we
I don't. We used to have Oscar parties, and I'm just like, I don't give a shit.
I
don't fucking care.
I can't even bear to watch the ceremonies anymore because they bore me to death. Where back in the day, I used to get kind of excited about them, to be honest with you. But
have we grown more cynical?
I get happy, if a film that I liked wins. If a film that I don't like wins, I don't give a crap really. And half the time I'm watching because I'm going to be posting about it. And because
I mean, do you get a prize
news item,
besides that statue?
35.
Is all of that really more important than what dresses are being worn on the runway?
That I don't give a shit
red
about.
carpet.
But that's what. But here's the thing
what
about
this
the
is all
Oscars. I
about now.
don't give a crap. I really don't.
Well, Joan Rivers, may she rest in peace, had a career because of that.
Yeah, I mean, good. For
she was
her.
also a great writer. She was also a great comedian. But like for some reason, like her viciousness on the red carpet. And here's the fucking thing. What if it was blue? What if one day somebody didn't roll out a red carpet? It would have been a blue carpet from now. Who cares? I worked on so many movies and TV shows, and you know when the red carpet matters? At the premiere for 1 hour. You work 9 months, 18 months on a movie, and for that 1 hour, really, everyone's going to get judged for that? You can judge me for the 2 hour fucking film or whatever we did. But who I'm wearing, that's mental.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It is mental. It is.
Well, now, the National Enquirer is not on the grocery store shelves anymore. It's on every time we turn on the fucking TV. I don't even watch TV anymore.
Ever since the New York Times quoted them, yeah.
Did you hear that Univision bought The Onion?
So they can have a Latino version? I don't know what that means.
Univision, they bought majority shareholder of The Onion and The Chive and one other website like today.
Well, I'm sure The Onion and The Chive are very happy to line their pockets with Univision's money. But what's for to what purpose?
I'm not sure. It's just a thing that happened.
Let's face it,
your
Sean Penn's
Lauren
interview with El
Zissions
Chapo
are amazing.
was kind of an Onion interview.
What?
I said El Chapo. El Chapo interview was kind of an Onion piece.
Can I just say this right now? Like, Spicoli needs to stop.
Come on, he's rescuing people when it floods in New Orleans. He's a hero. He's milk.
No, you know what? He's a self-absorbed, deluded asshole.
That's right.
Who just interviewed him? Charlie Rose? Did you watch that?
No.
Oh my God. Deluded. Absolute psychopath. And I don't mean psychopath as like he's going to go out there and like eat your kid's toenails. Like, I mean, He's a psychopath because he's totally unaware of what reality is.
Mr. Hands, you dick.
Yeah, I Am Sam is now going to dictate to me what journalism is. Do you know that?
Oh yeah.
He said basically what you do is not. He's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have fried him for real in Dead Man Walking.
Even though he
Wow.
Why not?
Holy mackerel.
and he claims that his interview had nothing to do with him getting arrested either. That's
Dude, let me tell you something. Liberals and conservatives alike can both agree. Sean Penn, go away.
Have fun being disembodied in Mystic River when the Mexican mob catches up with you.
Like, how do you? And then who makes Whoa, he's just exhausting. If he was in this room, I'd be like, "Very nice to meet you, Mr. Penn." But besides, like, what an asshole.
I love Bad Boys, and I'm not talking about Will Smith.
Yeah,
I really hope that one day somebody calls and says, "You want to say this to my face?" From the amount of things that are said in this.
I don't say anything on here that I wouldn't say. You know, it's not like they can't find me and they're not going to know that I didn't say anything. Or that I did say something.
I just think a lot of people are under the impression that people would go on the internet and Google themselves a lot. I mean, if I was a celebrity,
Sean Penn seems like one of those guys that would.
I wouldn't have the time or energy, you know, like I'd be too busy rolling in my money. And, you know, like when you think of all the things you could do as a rich person, sitting on the internet, like looking yourself up to see what internet commenters are saying is probably
No, if I was rich, you know what I would do?
I would build an amazing hoop house and grow lots of vegetables.
If I was rich, I would wear a Spider-Man shirt.
If I was wealthy. You're going to build a hoop house?
Yeah. I'm going to grow bananas too.
You are the fucking weirdest person ever.
And
In a wonderful way. In a wonderful, magical way. You're like Lemony Snicket. In a wonderful, magical way.
In 15 years, I'll be the only person in Northeast Pennsylvania
to have
with
watched The
Alive.
Winter's Tale.
with bananas.
To have watched The Winter's Tale.
Oh, now she's pouting. Good one.
You're my only resource for the zombie apocalypse. You're the only place I'm going.
I'll be the only one with bananas. That'll be for sure.
So
Hey, we're not dead. And Lauren's like, and we have bananas.
Because potassium.
she's gonna lock the door on you. You know that, right? You're gonna show up banging on the door.
No, Lauren keeps talking about this like fucking farm / ranch / Davidian compound that she has.
You're not gonna be invited, dude. It's not.
No, but I'm totally convinced. Like going back to Mad Max, like it's Border Town or Barter Town or whatever the hell it is, and there's like the corrugated metal walls around it, and there's gonna be some sort of vertically challenged person up top with a spear. Saying what's your name? And I'm like,
Day.
yeah, it's a beautiful day. I'm gonna say it's Mark, and he's like, no. And then that's it, and I have to like Charlie Brown walk away. And Lauren's gonna be inside like drinking at someone's skull. She's drinking fucking banana juice out of somebody's skull. While Mark walks away, and she's laughing. She's like, "I remember that podcast.
It's a potassium smoothie.
You fucking dick." By the way, I was writing a script once, and I called my buddy's an ER doctor, and I'm like, "Hey, what's the best way to kill somebody in a hospital without anyone knowing?" And he's like, "Potassium." And I was like, "All right, yep."
Oh.
So, Lauren, what are you trying to do?
Be the only person with bananas after a plague wipes them out.
Do you know something that I don't know about a plague coming to wipe out bananas?
Are you not aware of the plight of bananas?
The banana plague?
Yeah.
No.
There's a banana plague. We're going to be out of bananas
When?
in our lifetime.
Well, I mean, so we just have to eat ice cream then alone.
You can't replicate banana flavor though.
When Magilla Gorilla is dictator of
Or
the United
factually,
States.
it's the most complicated
Donkey dong.
sense. You can't replicate it properly. Have you ever had any artificial banana that tastes anything like a real banana?
No, any artificial banana tastes like
the worst.
It's the closest I can think that this is what rat shit tastes like.
It's impossible. You cannot replicate banana flavor.
We got Grape Ape on the phone. Grape Ape, go ahead.
Great babe. Great babe. Great babe.
No banana.
Speaking of great animals this year in film, how about my rape scene, Babu? I was trying to do that.
Jesus Christ.
I was trying to do Yogi there.
He didn't rape him.
No, I know. That's the best part about
Bears
the
put
Revenant.
like they push on a
There was no
log.
rape.
Yeah.
I just want to.
I think.
Yeah, can you imagine like the people who are like, wait, Leo gets raped? And then they go to that movie and they're like, there's no rape.
I want my money back.
This is bullshit. This movie Drive is not like Fast and the Furious. I want my money back. People thought what the early buzz was that DiCaprio gets raped, which I'm like it does makes no sense.
You can't. Yeah. Where do you
he's
go
not a
after? Where do you go
dolphin.
after bear rape? Like now in every film, he has to have like a bear rape because you just can't. Wolf of Wall Street 2.
No, I hope you know what. Honestly, like I hope like
Where do you go from there? It's a rape all of its own. That's what The Big Short was all about.
It's a wallet rape.
Hey, boo boo.
it seems like actors that when they win the Oscar, they now have like the freedom to do whatever they want to do.
Sure.
And I hope that DiCaprio finally wins for The Revenant so he can just fucking lose his mind and do the whole fucking bear rape movie or whatever he wants to do. Like him and Seth Rogen are going to hook up and just make this off the wall thing. Because I don't think, has he ever done a comedy? I mean, Gilbert Grape was hysterical, but
There's movies that have been, his performance in Django Unchained is, I'm not going to say what he did is funny, but it's
goofy.
comical.
it's comical. It's serio-comical. But no, I don't think he's done
Could
outright
Wolf of
comedy.
Wall Street be a dark comedy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'd
that was
say
the.
yeah.
I'll tell you what. That was one of my favorite movies
I love that movie.
last year.
Yeah.
but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I felt bad loving that movie.
I laughed my ass off that
Yeah.
whole movie. Like I never thought Quaaludes could be that funny.
Yeah. Did you try them?
I'm sure I did some derivative of them.
Yeah, I'm sure I did too. Steve.
I had a
Madden.
whole decade where I was just like whatever.
Yeah.
If it's
But if you're thinking of like outright comedy, I don't think he's done anything like
He's never
an
did like a
outright comedy
rom-com.
outside of
Oh, The Beach.
that
Like rom-com.
outside of when he was on that Alan Thicke sitcom back in the 80s.
Growing Pains.
Growing Pains. Yeah,
Yeah, we all grew pains.
Show
from
me
shit.
that smile again.
Show me that smile. Which, as a matter of fact, I just filmed Alan Thicke at the theater.
Really?
Yeah, he was there singing.
Oh God.
Oh, really?
He's not
He
good.
sang. He sang more than just that theme song, didn't he? Sing it?
No,
He
he
wrote
did.
and sang
He
the theme song for his talk
He
show.
performed in an entire play written by Kenny Rogers.
Oh my God.
Oh, he sang. I have the footage, man.
Oh God. Well, that's a whole other podcast.
No, he was. From what I understand, I didn't get to meet him, but from what I understand, he's a really sweet guy. But like, it was. I remember just somebody looking at me like, "What? What's Dr. Seaver doing? It doesn't make any sense." And then you expect Kirk Cameron to come out on the cross.
Now,
Thanks,
do you
Kurt.
feel that Leo, if he does get the Oscar, do you think
I think
he's
he will,
going
too.
to win because of how good this movie is, or how good he is in the movie, or because it's one of those Oscar favors? Like, well, we didn't get you in the last 3 or 4, so
Yeah, but
we'll give it to
Inarritu
you
won
this
last
one.
year.
Cop out, but I think it's a combination of all three. I do feel he's as good as all the nominees this year.
Oh, yeah.
I think he always does a fantastic job. I think Eddie Redmayne did a fantastic job in what I can't believe more people aren't panning. I mean, I don't think The Danish Girl is a great movie, but I think Redmayne's performance is phenomenal.
Right.
I feel that Leonardo DiCaprio gives a phenomenal, bare bones, just stripped to the nerve performance in this
Bare
movie.
bones.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
If I have to give my predictions, it's him for Best Actor, and I see for Best Supporting Actor Sylvester Stallone. And yeah, is that a seasoned favorite? Sure, it is. But
People are going to tune in for that, though.
sure they are. That's
It's gonna be a
exactly why it was
feel-good
invented, just like
moment.
Lauren said. But at the same time, is it a warranted performance? I think he's been doing it so long. And is it a lived-in performance? Yeah, it happens to be one of the most natural performances of the year. I think it rings true. There's not an inauthentic word spoken by Stallone in that role in Creed.
I would definitely say he gets it for his work in Creed. Not so much, as a lifetime achievement award for, you were good in those Rocky movies, but those Expendable movies too. Here you go. That's not happening.
Yeah.
That way.
We're happy you're not poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think Oscar voters, when they look at performances, do they take into the fact that, DiCaprio and company were out in the middle of nowhere for like 9 months, and he's, has a wetsuit on underneath 100 pounds of animal fur as a costume, and he's like diving into these freezing cold rivers. Did they take in the environment in which
that doesn't make you a better actor? That's like saying, all right, the guys from Jackass deserve an Oscar.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's the whole the urban legend of Marathon Man with Laurence Olivier. When did you ever hear that?
No.
Oh, have you both seen Marathon Man?
Where Dustin Hoffman says, well, I was up all night and I've been up for days on a row. And he goes, just to get this performance straight. And Laurence Olivier goes, why don't you just try acting?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole where it doesn't make sense to me.
I think it does factor in because there's a number of, actors voting among the Academy. I think it all factors in, but I think all the peripherals do.
Yeah. So, putting in the work versus, Stallone maybe, not to denigrate his performance, but like you said, it's a lived-in performance because he's been playing this character for decades now. He knows, Rocky inside and out, and he knows how he's going to react, so he knows how to play that character at this point in the character's life.
That's like bringing Archie Bunker back like 30, 40 years later.
Which I would so love. I wish he was still kicking. That would have been the greatest movie. We need him now more than ever. Bring back Hal Linden. We need Barney Miller. Where's Barney Miller? And Abe Vigoda. Abe Vigoda's still kicking. Come on.
96, is he?
That's right. God, Fish is still kicking. I have to say, this is totally off the record, but my friend's uncle was the captain of a Philadelphia police precinct. And I asked him, this is back when NYPD Blue was big and all these TV shows. I said,
and Dennis Franz's ass.
And I said, what to you is the greatest TV police drama of all time? What do you think really captures what it is to be a police cop? And he says, Barney Miller was, for me, the greatest program about policing. I said, you got to be kidding me. That's a sitcom. He said, no, because you work in a city precinct. You have to have a sense of humor, but also with a degree of pathos that you would never understand as a person who's not a cop in a precinct. And, the more I watch that show, I think of his uncle. He was involved with a landmark case down in Philly. And it just rings true. And I saw it the other day on Me TV, Barney Miller. And I'm really starting to have more respect for some of these older shows that, we really have to get back to kind of emulating as far as material. Yeah. Totally off the record of what we're talking about.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for doing it on a podcast.
This will be a whole separate podcast.
Hey!
Entirety of the public. What?
You're doing it.
I'm interjecting?
Yeah.
Can I interject with the fact that I'm looking at a population representation chart from The Economist, and it's putting up against the actual U.S. population different demographics compared to SAG roles, film roles, top roles, Oscar nominations, and Oscar wins. And can I say that for the majority of this, the population to Oscar wins and
the population of the United States,
yes, is somewhat it's equal.
Representative?
It's representative. However, when we get to most of these categories, the Asian American category is severely left out.
Where's your outrage?
I don't have any.
Where's your what? We need to start a movement.
For what?
Your outrage.
I think we should probably get like Jackie Chan like a presidential medal or something. I don't really care.
I think Jackie Chan stunted his way into the White House and already stole it.
He's like one of the best people alive right now.
As a human being,
Not
as a
even as a
performer.
I'd get Jackie Chan a
Everything.
medal, but never the medallion again.
I saw that.
Isn't that a piece of shit?
Who was in that? What's her face? I thought she was. I always thought she was so cute. Isn't it the girl from Meet Joe Black? Or is that Jennifer Love Hewitt's in the medallion?
No, Jennifer Love Hewitt was in Tuxedo, wasn't?
Oh yes, she was.
Which
yes, she was. You saw that?
No, I saw that when that came out, and that was a date night with my future ex-wife, and
that sealed
that was
it.
actually it was her week. It was her weekend to choose the movie we were going to.
Wait, did you say future ex-wife?
He just said that, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I went, ooh.
Let me do the math on this. Not yet.
No.
Does she know?
I hope so. She signed the divorce papers 8 years ago.
So your ex-wife, but
yeah,
in the past tense, she was your future.
Yeah. We were engaged at that point.
Oh my!
I think.
I just incepted.
Sorry, but that was
Okay.
like we, and our first couple of dates were like French movies, like Amelie and stuff like that. And then so she goes, "Well, let's go see this new Jackie Chan movie. I know you love Jackie Chan." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm sitting there thinking, I have heard nothing but bad reviews on this. And we were actually walking out. She turned to me and goes, "I apologize for picking this movie."
The answer is Claire
tuxedo was so
Forlani
terrible.
from Mallrats.
Yes.
Okay.
Famous
right.
from Mallrats, ladies and gentlemen.
And I am one of the few people who like Meet Joe Black.
What's wrong with Meet Joe Black?
Oh, that was
Everything.
pretty much.
Great
Did you ever see the original?
The French one
The
or the foreign one?
No.
Yeah, I don't watch foreign movies.
It's not
There's
foreign.
only one foreign movie that I've ever watched, and I actually
I mean,
liked it.
Death Takes a Holiday.
Death Takes a
Yes,
Holiday.
that's the one. Mm-hmm. And then who is it? Martin. Oh, what's his name? He did Scent of a Woman. He was the director of that.
Martin
Well, he did Gigli too.
Martin Ritt.
Is that what his name
No,
is?
it's not Ritt.
No.
No,
think I'm
Ritt did
getting a dog.
Molly McGuire's. What the hell am I
What?
thinking?
I think I'm getting a dog.
Lauren, you know we're on a podcast, right?
No, but I just got the message. Big deal in my life.
Jesus Christ.
He's got the same name as my cat.
We're like sitting here talking, and you're like, ooh, 3 ways to make
Marky, you know why I'm
fucking
playing
smoothies.
an emergency board game right now.
Jesus
The
Christ.
Johnny Gage piece is missing, but I'm going to get it.
No, my,
Rich has been trying to move on for 20 minutes. That Rich. Number one, Rich.
That's Rich.
Are you gonna move on? Oh, there's just like this dead pause, and I
I
was
know
like,
because
I know
I'm
you
just
can't
like
stand
I'm
the
shocked.
silence.
I'm like Googling like Lauren getting a dog.
No, why? It's not on the
Can
internet
we
yet.
can we talk how TV is rivaling movies these days? Because you brought up a great point
Yeah.
before, Marky. I mean, I mean,
Oh, it's the golden age of television,
It
man.
is a
I
golden
love TV
but there's
shows.
so many. It's just so difficult.
I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Same here. And
I'm overwhelmed with good television right now.
How do you choose your cues? I'll say cues in a
Yeah,
general.
Lauren will tell you pretty soon.
Netflix or Hulu, but I mean, how do you choose? Because I hear so many great responses from people as far as what is the best these days, and I just have to really siphon down because there's only so much time in the day. So, Marky,
I give 3 episodes.
yeah,
Yeah. I give 3 episodes. Like Arrow, I might have hit the end of season 1. That was tough. Flash just barreled through it. What did I watch? Blacklist, I think, is fantastic.
Oh,
Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones, first season of Game of Thrones, they were up to like episode 9, and I'm like, what is this? Because it seemed very uninteresting to me. I don't know if they didn't market it correctly or whatever. I was just like, what is? I thought it was like Deadwood, but like a really long time ago. Nothing against Deadwood. I just didn't like Deadwood. Cocksucker. Swedge cocksucker.
I never finished Deadwood.
They're making it a movie.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of shows that like I give a chance and then it just surprises me. Like Veep, I never thought I would like, and I just barreled through that. Parks and Rec, never thought I would like, barreled through that. Doctor Who, never thought I would like, barreled through it. I buy every season now when it comes out. It's so good.
did you like the original Doctor Who?
Absolutely hated it.
Okay,
Hated it. But that's not to say like I hated the original Battlestar Galactica.
sure.
The 2000 Battlestar Galactica is my favorite thing of all time.
It's just all in perspective. Yeah, Rich and I are both fans of, and I'm not outing you here, Rich.
No.
I mean, we
Sex in the City,
Yes,
Girls.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
we love the
I actually
original
love
Doctor
Buffy.
Who.
I think it's a fantastic show.
And watched on the original WVIA.
It's on Netflix. I remember seeing it on WVAA, and I remember the sets
It's
look
very
like
different
Hatchie
from the current,
Malachi.
Well, also a great reference. And
Yeah, you're
his
welcome.
most hated villain,
Who's his most hated villain?
Hatchie Malachi.
Was Doctor Who's most hated villain was Hatchie Malachi?
There's a wonderful world that you really should see. Anyway. Fuck you, Miss Judy! Get that bottle out of your mouth. Anyway, but it's very different, and it's funny, just watching it be on the covers of magazines these days, and being such a populist subject.
for taking the amount of shit that I took in like junior
Oh
high
my
and
God.
high school for being a fan of like Doctor Who and other genre stuff when it just wasn't cool.
I had it again with the symbol that disappeared when you rubbed it, and people tried to give me a beating over it, but I was pretty, wiry, and I gave a beating back. But I just didn't wear it because of the crap I got,
And it's really strange, and I think maybe Rich Rich can attest to this. It's like, back in the, if we walked into high school with like, you're wearing a Ghost Rider shirt. You walked into high school, you would have gotten the shit kicked out of you.
This is actually how I dressed in high school.
Yeah, but okay,
it hasn't changed.
So
at
the
all.
beatings,
Why are you black and blue, Rich? Coming in here.
the beatings will commence
The
immediately.
beatings will continue until morale improves.
But now it's like the captain of the football team wears that.
Yeah. It's been quite bizarre. I've written about that a lot of times. I've thought about it a lot. It's bizarre because a lot of it's due to the blockbuster movies and now the TV shows that are coming together. I mean, geez, even look at the Daredevil of Ben Affleck and then the Daredevil that you have now on Netflix. Like,
Does it make you proud,
Two-
hateful, or
I love
indifferent, though?
Affleck.
It doesn't bother me because I've always been, kind of out about it. Like
Right.
I've never really tried to.
But you
hide
feel
that at all.
vindicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do a lot, and it bugs me a little bit in the back of my head. But at the same time, I'd say, you know what? I'd be a hypocrite because I think we were all that kid who wanted to share that with other people and say, hey, no, it really is good. You have to watch it. If you really see it, or if you really read the book, you'll really like it. And we spent so much time trying to tell people that,
Sure.
and now it's so much easier to say that because
See,
now you can just say,
everything is
oh yeah,
cool.
I'm a fan. Yeah,
Everything is
I don't think back then people understood that, like movies to me were my NFL.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the guy who's like, well, Lawrence Taylor has blah, 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 and he's 5 foot blah, and, all that shit where I'm like, Darius Kanji was the cinematographer of Seven.
Yeah.
It was Fincher's second film. I knew all that shit, and I don't know why I knew it.
I mean, even in like junior high, I could watch like the first minute of the pre-credit sequence on a Star Trek episode and tell you, oh, okay, this is this episode, this is who wrote it, this is who directed it, and and everything else. Just because that was, like you said, it was like my NFL. In fact, one of the first people who started with Trek fandom back in the 60s, B. Joe Trimble, she was just a fan of
The trouble with Trimble?
She was a fan of the first season of Star Trek when she heard it was going to be possibly canceled. She reached out to a lot of her other friends in science fiction fandom through fanzines and stuff, and basically started that first letter writing campaign that got the show renewed for a second season. And years later, she's in the 70s. She was kind of thought of as like the grandmother of Trek fandom and everything. She wrote a book called On the Good Ship Enterprise about all her experiences there. And she related a great story that she was at a con and was being interviewed by the local news people. And this is in the 70s after the show had been canceled. And the reporter goes, don't you think it's kind of weird or childish that you have all this knowledge about a TV show that's been canceled? And she pauses for a moment, looks over to the cameraman. Cameraman has local sports team hat on, baseball cap on. And she goes, well, you're a fan of local baseball team. Can you give me their 1969 lineup? And the guy rattles it off like that. And she's like, don't you think it's kind of weird that he would know the lineup to, a baseball team, from 5 years ago or whatever? And it's all, just finding, what your passion is. And, for us, it was movies or comics or, certain TV shows or whatever. For other people, it was sports. And it's just kind of gotten to a point where socially, some of our passions are a little bit, more acceptable now. And people can.
It's
go,
cooler to be like a nerd now.
Yeah. The geek haven't inherited the earth.
Unless you grow bananas.
You are so strange.
Unless you're, on the other side of it too, then, there's some nerds who are like so elitist about it that it's like, oh, well, you can't be a fan because you don't know this encyclopedia worth of stuff, that's been crammed in my head. And I'm kind of like, I think as long as we can all get along and say we enjoy it and we have fun or whatever, I don't really care like how much you know or don't know about it. But at the same time, like it's like, yeah, we've put in the time and the energy and everything to be fans.
Well, there are
you just watched the movie and now you're a fan. Like
Rich is now drunk with power.
It goes
It's like-
both ways.
Well, there are certain fans who were kind of like there from the beginning, and they feel like it was their little secret, their little intro club.
Sure.
So it's like, look back into the 80s, like REM Document Number 5 comes out, and everybody was like, oh, great album. And there were some REM fans who were like, they sold that. You're not real fans. You weren't here for, their first album or whatever.
Right.
and you saw that, with when Green Day went big too. And it was just like, why would you feel crappy or be angry that the thing you like is suddenly loved by a lot more people?
Sure.
That it has never made any sense to me.
Well, it doesn't make sense as a musician to be like, we want the least. We're happy. We've peaked. We don't want any more people to like us.
We just want to tour the country in a crappy van, maybe play a venue with 14, 15 people.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the gayest thing I've ever done right now.
Excuse me.
Besides openly tongue kiss Tom Hanks.
Oh, that sounds like a story.
While he was making Philadelphia. I sincerely and absolutely 100% agree with what I'm about to say right now. I liked Glee until everyone else did.
Why?
I really did. I was like, this show is cool.
I've lost some respect for you.
And I literally watched every week, and I made it till about 12 episodes, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, this Glee show, and you could see like when it caught on, and like the network wanted to make it bigger and better, and it had a story at the beginning, and then now it was just about
the first 13 episodes when that was all that they had figured out where they were going with it, because it looked like they probably weren't going to get renewed.
Right.
And then the whole second half of that first season was like scrambling for, oh crap,
ideas.
What do we do now?
Yeah.
And I don't think the show ever really strongly recovered.
I've never seen Glee. I know nothing about it.
I bailed at somewhere in the middle.
You and I probably bailed at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you want the things that you love to be successful, and in the case of something like Marvel, for example, if it didn't get popular and the movies didn't blow up, Marvel might not exist right now. The rights might have gone to somebody else who might have buried them somewhere or whatever. Because in the 90s, I remember that was a real thing I was afraid of, because
they were filing for bankruptcy.
They were bankrupt. Yeah. They were really scared that. Now they're owned by Disney, so they don't have to worry about money ever again. But if
unless they stop making it.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
Well, they're also crafting some of the best, I won't say some of the best, but some of the most intriguing shows out there. I did love Daredevil. Jessica Jones was phenomenal. I thought,
that was awesome.
I'm not as crazy about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think Agent Carter will step up. Well, it's inconsistent, but it is quality. But it's still better than a lot of the stuff out.
Are you up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Not the last half of last season, no. Did it suddenly get great?
Oh, it was... when you get to it, you'll know.
Okay.
Coulson has one of the funniest lines I've heard in 4 seasons or 3 seasons on there.
Start to wad through a field of crap to get to this one line.
No, it's all good. It gets a lot better.
I'm just kidding.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I Instagrammed it. It was so funny.
So
I took a video of that line and me giggling.
It's a great reference.
We began the podcast at one point talking about Age of Ultron and Joss Whedon having to conform to the Marvel puppet masters and Disney. And then, but we're also agreeing that there's been, success in this formula.
Right.
So DC is releasing Superman versus Batman.
Batman v Superman.
Yeah, which makes more sense. He is the bigger hero.
Dawn of Justice.
But can DC ever catch up with Marvel, or are they rushing
a
template into existence?
Some of it,
I really like the last Suicide Squad trailer.
Some of it, I think they are. You look at Legends of Tomorrow that just premiered.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was decent.
Okay.
It was decent.
It's decent, right?
Yeah. But it wasn't, mind-blowing. But it felt very much like, we already know what they're going to do with the Netflix stuff, where they're going to do a couple of series and then they're going to build up to Defenders. So we need to do our version of that. Let's get it together now, so we could beat them to the punch. So it kind of felt a little slapped together, but it's, I could still enjoy it because I like Flash a lot. I think Arrow's decent. It has good moments and some kind of, soap opera-y kind of moments, but overall, I enjoy it. But yeah, I think DC in general, it's weird because they've had the rights all in one place for a long time. Like, they could have done this stuff years ago with Justice League and everything else.
Absolutely right, yeah.
And they missed that opportunity and they didn't do it, and they took a lot of weird detours for a long time. So
back in 2007, they were looking at doing a Justice League movie that was going to spin all those other characters off. And Mad Max director George Miller was the one in charge.
That's
of it.
right. That's right,
And
yeah.
they were still working on the script. And then the writer's strike happened. They kind of postponed a little bit. They
Right.
lost some tax incentives for filming in Australia, so they were going to move up to Vancouver. And ultimately, the thing just fell apart, which is a shame because honestly, that script was pretty good. It's I don't know if
I haven't read it.
Okay,
no.
it is out there. It's fairly
Okay.
easy. It's a fairly easy Google to find. So they had a chance. Whether it would have succeeded or not, is up for question. And I'm also not sure that because Marvel has success with the way they introduced several characters in their own solo films that built towards Avengers. Is that the only template to do an interconnected universe, or can DC do something different? Can the Universal Monsters interconnected universe do something different?
I really wanted to see that. It seems like that's kind of
Tom Cruise.
up in the air right now because after
Tom Cruise.
They're going to shoot. They're going to shoot later on in the year for The
Okay.
Mummy with Tom Cruise, and then take
My
it.
boy,
from there.
Blue.
And by the way, there's never been a great mummy film except made over in England by Hammer Films. I don't think the Boris Karloff movie was as phenomenal as a film history makes it out to be.
Hey,
I don't
Monster Squad.
touche.
say no more, my
Okay.
friend.
You're
that
welcome.
would be the template for everything if they for that. But they're also trying to put Godzilla and King Kong together by having an origin tale of King Kong with Skull Island,
Yeah.
and then going off and making the Godzilla film that came out 2 years ago.
Do you think King Kong grows up in that movie?
I wonder if he comes of age.
That's what I
He has
mean.
a crush on Jordan Catalano, I believe.
Like how big is the birthing canal for that thing?
Oh my God.
I just don't know how much a fan I am of the
There's
whole.
bananas involved, so suddenly we have
Yeah.
Lauren's attention.
Thank you.
Plantains.
King Kong, A Winter's Tale.
I'm just kind of confused as to where DC is going with their tone, so to speak. I feel like it's a little too dark.
I
and
think
it's a
Forced,
little
like
too-
everything.
Yeah, it does. A lot of it feels very forced. I think, to me, I know everybody's really excited about Suicide Squad. I think it looks like a mess, and I think it's going to come off as a mess. I think it just looks very messy to me. I don't think we know any of these characters enough to really care about what happens to most of them. I think the characters that they did choose, I think, were really bizarre choices, and then they kind of forced Joker in there to kind of make it a little more interesting for people who are like, you know what, I don't care about Crocodile Guy and Fireface and whatever else. Who gives a shit?
Fireface.
Like who fucking cares about these guys?
played by Richard
Whatever. I think they threw him in there to guarantee ticket sales more than to actually
Fireface?
make a good movie.
My crock pop.
The guy, he shoots fire out of his hands. There's one standard on every team who shoots fire, or ice, or whatever.
Jared
It's in
Leto
Legends of
forever to
Tomorrow,
be
too.
beloved.
Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow, same thing.
Basically, to be one of Spider-Man's amazing friends, you had to have this power.
Yeah, exactly.
What I think what's ridiculous on DC and Warner Brothers' part is that
Their foreplay is way too fast.
yeah,
Marvel romanced us into that.
yeah, they go right.
And DC is just like,
go right
here's
to home
11
plate.
movies in 4 years. And you're just like, whoa, wait, what?
Well, I think they have great properties in Arrow and Flash. I mean, I don't think the series are phenomenal and even not in the top 10 of the series on right now, but they're very well wrought, very well cast, and I think they're solid overall. And to recast the Flash, and I know I want to eat my words. I want them to go and prove me wrong. And I know there's a whole world too and alternate universe lineage to these books, but to really have a great property out there that's well cast and to not use that in the series as Marvel is doing, especially when they're using Marvel as their biggest villain in trying to emulate, I just think it's absolutely ridiculous not to cast.
I get that. I'm glad though that they're letting the TV shows be their own thing and not beholden to what's going to happen in the movies, because as much as Marvel does good with all that interconnectivity, look at the first 2/3 of the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They are marching in place, just waiting for Captain America, Winter Soldier to happen, so they can actually kind of do something.
Yeah, but now they're their own. They're on their own path now.
Yeah,
It seems to me.
and I don't think that Inhuman stuff that they're doing on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now is in any way going to relate back to the Inhumans movie that they have scheduled for 2019, 2020 or whatever.
Yeah,
If it even happens.
and I feel like that was a weird choice to go down that road for that particular show, just because they have this movie planned. And they're probably not going to be able to use any of that material because there's a reason they're leaving out the royal family and everything.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So that they can. It's I don't know. It's
way over our heads now.
yeah. You're getting
Black
into
Bolt, Medusa,
deep geek territory
Karnak.
now.
I have prepared.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm obviously I'm more biased because I'm more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy. But I'm not too excited about where DC is going. But I am willing to be proved wrong.
Can't tell.
I really
I'm more
do want to
interested
see it.
how Suicide Squad's going to come out than Batman v Superman at this point, with the exception of I'm interested in Affleck's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
That looks like that could be interesting, and that ultimately, will lead off to him doing a solo movie that he'll direct.
I love Affleck.
I love Affleck
was-
as a
I
director
had
and as an actor.
I had such faith in him until Kevin Smith said this week that he's possibly the best Batman ever. Kevin Smith speaks.
But Kevin Smith has also has been the guy. If there was ever going to be a remake of Jaws, I'd say Affleck should be the shark.
Right.
Kevin Smith has such an affinity for
He
Ben
loves
Affleck.
him, yeah.
they're
Can't
buds,
take that in
Take it with the
context.
Can't be
appropriate grain of
objective.
salt.
No,
At all. Right.
yeah.
just like Lauren. Any
I just like to bash Kevin Smith.
any question, Lauren. Any question.
Posers.
Oh yes, I have.
Look at her.
That? Oh, after no, but believe me, you don't want to throw down with me over Kevin Smith. Oh my God.
You're getting all easy on everybody today.
I'll fight you about Kevin.
Do you want to rapid fire cue them?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Do it.
Do
I'm
it.
a fan of Smith's. It's just, I think some of his stuff more recently has been uneven. I wanted to like Tusk more than I
Yeah, but
did.
you know what? He's
bringing
doing.
out
He's
my
doing.
jersey.
He's doing what he wants to do.
But
Let him do it.
I've been to the Quick Stop twice, so taking
First time was to ask directions. Hey man, you open?
And so,
Then I
Lauren's
bought a
gonna-
copy of Mini Trucker magazine.
Lauren's gonna rapid fire cue you
do you know what this is?
in a row.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, 3 today. You have 3 seconds to respond.
I think you need to be more excited
No.
when you get into this part of it.
Why?
I'm going to ask you 3 questions now. You have it. Here are these 3 questions. I think you need to be like, hey, everybody shut up and ask you 3 questions.
Have you ever heard me say anything like that before?
To me, a couple of times.
Number 1.
Do we both throw out at the same time,
If-
or
You have 3 seconds to answer.
It's
Me
one
and
of you is
Jeff.
going to come up with an answer
Okay.
before the other.
can we confer?
No.
No.
It's like Jeopardy.
This is an answer unto yourself.
Yeah.
If you had to fight a predator, which predator would you choose to fight? Where are you and what weapon is at your disposal because of the natural environment?
Another human, a mace, and 70s era New York.
Like French Connection?
A bear out in the woods, and I'd throw Leonardo DiCaprio at him.
Tell them my answers.
Marky answered Predator 2, Los Angeles, Predator knife frisbee.
Awesome answer.
Nice.
Rich, do you want to throw in?
when she first, with Danny Glover.
Repeat the question.
If you had to fight a predator, which would you choose? Where are you and what weapon is at your disposal?
Jer Tobin, the internet,
No. No.
That's good.
No,
and a
thank you.
keyboard.
No, thank you, sir.
See, I want to go for the easy Danny Glover joke, but there goes that.
Every Danny joke. Every Danny Glover, forget it.
Okay.
Bill Cosby.
70s
Yeah.
era Groucho.
Number
day.
Yeah, Bill Cosby, anywhere,
With a pudding pop.
but like the one that like holds the world record for the largest pudding pop
With
stick.
the candlestick with Colonel Mustard.
You went Clue on this.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay.
So you want a Bill Cosby? Wait,
No,
you're
you
mixing
want
up.
to. That's where you win.
Chocolate cake. That is great.
I have?
What's the joke that
The people. My wife, Camille.
God, I hope they fry that guy. Not that I'm taking an
Number
opinion on
2?
it.
That's the second person you've wanted to fry.
Number one
Yeah.
in your hearts.
Number 2.
Go ahead, Lauren.
You're on a boat. It is sinking.
On a boat, Sorry.
Okay.
You have a raft. You have the only raft that was on this boat, and you have enough room left for one other person. In the water is John Williams, Hans Zimmer, and John Murphy. Who Who do you save?
Oh, Hans Zimmer.
God damn.
Wait, did John Murphy do Sunshine?
Yes, he did. And 28 Days Later.
He still has many great works ahead of him. John Williams is already shark food.
Zimmer. Yeah,
Zimmer?
yeah.
Wow.
As much as I respect Williams, I think his Superman the movie score is perfect. His Star Wars and Empire scores are amazing. His Raiders score is perfect. E.T. He's pretty much retiring. So
you're done with him.
purely pragmatic. I need good music in a movie.
Him coming back for Force Awakens is like, Warren Cohen coming back for the Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Who?
I didn't.
What's his name?
Oh, Morricone. Ennio Morricone. Yeah.
I didn't think Williams' score was great for Force Awakens. It was really good, but I still, honestly, some of the work that he did in the prequels, I think was a little bit better.
Yeah.
I know, which sounds...
Look, he just really
giving positive reviews to anything in the prequels is heresy.
he really enjoyed putting his grandkids through college.
Fine with me. Fine. Hey.
You see the behind the scenes with him and Abrams, and John Williams turns around and he's like, "Is that good, or is that what you?" And Abrams was like, "I don't care." It's like, you're John Williams. I don't care. I'm just. And Abrams has his iPhone, and he's like, "I'm just really jazzed to be here, man." It's like, it was like Sam Rockwell and Galaxy Quest, where he's like, "Man, I'm just really excited to be a part of the show, man." It's like, question 3.
Question 3.
Are we skipping Rich?
Oh, well,
Zimmer, Murphy, or Williams?
I'd probably have to go with Williams just because I'm more of a Star Wars guy than anything else.
I would have to save Murphy.
I know. I said
Epic
Zimmer. I was in
music.
between Zimmer and Murphy.
I love Hans Zimmer, but Murphy's got some.
Yeah, but Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack for Days of Thunder.
Number 3.
We all have our bad
What about
days.
Mike Post? Is Mike Post just drifting away?
Number 3.
If Giaccone was in here, we'd be having problems.
Hey, that's in my boat.
If you could select one cinema monster as a pet, what would it be? 1, 2, 3.
Woola from John Carter.
Oh, okay.
The big Martian dog with the 6 legs.
Oh,
I am getting such the look here.
I don't think she saw John Carter.
I did not see John Carter.
Yeah, that's where you're getting looks, because it's
Jack
like
Carter.
you're going like,
I guess when you know him as long
are
as you have,
talking
Mark, you can
about
call him
ER?
Jack.
ER, John Carter?
no, John Carter of Mars.
John Carter was a
ER?
doctor
You
on
chose
ER.
No,
He was
this
played
is
by Noah
no,
Wiley.
no. This is a book that's 100 years old that
John
Disney
Carter.
flopped.
Not a bad
John-
movie.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Cinema monster.
Was it
Okay.
Andrew Stanton?
The Steak Buff Marshmallow Man, because my wife does his face so well.
what?
And it's cute. Ding. Winner. Rich.
Vince Clorto, Keymaster.
All right.
Who's your
Who brought
cinema
the
monster
dog?
as a pet, man?
I guess I'd probably go with the big flying dog from Neverending Story.
Falcor?
Falcor.
Good move,
I thought you were
man.
going to
I
say
think
from
that would be
Strange
awesome.
Brew, where he grew a cape and went to Oktoberfest. Come on, Hoser. Once you get Oktoberfest, you can have all the sauce that you want.
Mark said Dracula.
Well, yeah, if I keep him in a cage, I can have eternal
Strange
life.
Brew. Still the best version of Hamlet ever on the screen.
If Cthulhu was made into a movie, we'd have to say Cthulhu would be my
What
answer.
the hell's Cthulhu?
H.P.
The
Lovecraft.
old one. Here, Cthulhu for talking.
Very good.
Did you just tell me to come closer? I don't know what you.
No.
I don't know what that
I
meant.
just invoked
She was
the old
summoning one of the
ones.
old dark ones. So
I'm surprised there's not more of that with the kind of resurging popularity that you see in Cthulhu and everything on the internet
That
lately.
there's not an actual H.P. Lovecraft movie of
Yeah,
some
that there's-
sort?
It'd be a
There's
great
not, like, a
anthology
whole
series.
bunch
I think
of
H.P.
them.
Lovecraft Presents would be a great.
That I've seen some really crappy H.P. Lovecraft anthologies
Yeah.
out there.
I
And
think just the
they gone.
concepts are a little too hard to
Capture
realize on
in-
screen. It's supposed to be, these giant
Very
elder
cerebral.
beings from before the universe happened, that are, you just look at them and you go nuts and you go mad, you're driven insane. And how can you really kind of show that? Because
Fox News.
Well, yeah.
To be honest, when Nietzsche said, when you look into the abyss looks right back at you.
And that's the opening line of The Abyss.
And that's exactly
Also,
what's going
Leviathan.
on with our...
When you look into the abyss, the abyss looks back into you.
Also, or
You just look like you just lost like a karaoke contest.
Thank you for participating in Rapid Fire Games.
That's it?
That was 3
All right,
questions.
do we have a last word?
no more than 3.
Not this week.
No?
Nah, nothing really that particularly struck my fancy. Nothing I really want to. Is it something you want to rant
Keep those
about?
cameras
Something you wanna
safely
go?
rolling.
Yeah.
For
I'm
me,
thinking
or what?
2016 is going to be a great year for movies.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the future.
Yeah.
Well, let's make that the last.
Let's do that. Let's do that real quick.
I mean, we're like you said, we're going to start to see what happens with Warner Brothers, DC's comics. I think November is going to be a crazy month in terms of we're getting the Suicide Squad movie.
No, I thought that's August.
Is it August?
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
November, yeah.
Second half of the year, then really.
Yeah.
You get the
Rogue
Suicide
One.
Squad movie. Doctor Strange, I think, is
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be a step in a different direction.
So excited for that.
Yeah, very, very much so too. As long as it starts looking like really crazy Steve Ditko style extra dimensional.
That's what I've got
stuff,
my
I'll be
fingers crossed
so
for that.
psyched.
Yeah.
And then Star Wars Rogue One in December, a Star Wars movie without the Skywalker family, and it's going to be more of just a straight up war story with no Jedi or the Force or anything. I'm excited to see that that anthology series that they're going to be doing in between the regular saga sounds like they can do a lot of different stuff. So I'm excited to see what they're actually going to do, and hopefully they're not going to play it too safe. Hopefully they're going to take some chances. And I'd rather see a movie take a chance and fail, even if it does have $150 million budget to it, than something that plays it safe.
I hope it has B. Arthur. I mean, Betty White. meant-
What?
Betty White.
Yes.
What?
Girls.
The holiday special.
The holiday.
Yeah.
The Love Day.
Oh, I thought you just fell asleep and just
Korman.
woke up and was
No.
like, I just hope it has B. Arthur in it.
Harvey Korman, maybe.
And hopefully Jerry Mathers.
Yeah. That's something you wake up. That's like like we're on a bus ride to go see like fucking Simon and Garfunkel at Madison Square Garden. And I woke Lauren up and she's like, I just hope it has B. Arthur in it. It's like Jesus.
Sounds like a real
Alien
thing.
Jesus.
Alien Jesus. He's like,
I'm bringing you B. Arthur. I'll bring her to you.
Is that how Alien
Is that how alien?
Alien Jesus has to talk like that.
We have to make a character.
I have come down from the skies above to bring you B. Arthur.
It sounds like it sounds like if George Harrison starred in The Danish Girl. That's what you're
Alien
channeling
Jesus
right
sounds a little bit like Neil Cavuto there.
Hello, I'm Neil Cavuto.
I think Charles, what's his name? Charles Crumthrower, whatever his name is. He could be.
Charles
he could
Krauthammer?
be. He could be Alien Lucifer. That might be the guy.
Actually, Charles Krauthammer looks a little bit like Grand Moff Tarkin if you look at him.
In the wrong light, yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I think he. Forget. Are we done?
Believe me, our careers are at this point.
Yes.
It's so good that none of us have like this career in radio. We just do it to talk about shit and hopefully entertain the world. And then you get to the point where you're like, man, it's like the Harold and Kumar thing. We've gone too far. Can't.
Well, you said it all.
This is like the
Yeah.
opposite of being on radio.
this.
Yes.
Thanks, Lauren. Wait, we don't have sponsors or advertisers, or no? We do have a. You do have a. But that's this.
It just ended, actually.
How was it?
Actually, it did very well, actually. So,
It's Beer Boys, right?
yeah. The event was packed. the whole
And I'm
time,
not saying
so.
that I just don't, because it's not like, it would be like Cocaine Boys. I'm not involved. I don't know.
We should be a great sponsor, by the way. If you
Yes.
It would be.
We should do Dialing for Dollars, but like
We should bring back Up All Night.
Cocaine Boys would be
Yes.
great
With Cocaine
until,
Boys.
If you're listening, Cocaine Boy.
until they got interviewed by.
The show would go on for 10 hours. It'd be people wiping their teeth for like 5 of it.
I want them to legalize marijuana here just so I can be, an entrepreneur and just have something called the Pot Store. I think that would be awesome.
I'd open up a restaurant right next to that. Like a snack bar.
Yeah, just for like,
An Admiral snack bar.
is that what you're going to call it?
Why not?
Be awesome.
What would it be called?
Admiral Snack Bar. On that note, we got to end. That was perfect,
And
Lauren.
for pot smokers, it's a trap.
It's a bong.
It's perfect.
Admiral Snack Bars. So good, it's a trap. What do you want? Just Funyuns and Malamars and
I'll bring your wife in. We'll syndicate the Chewbacca.
it should be a
the
buffet of
Chewbacca.
nonsense.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
It'll be all the stuff that,
Which is a
that I
great
cook.
description of this show, by the way.
Yes.
Oscar schmoskers. We talked about everything.
Including
fuck
dolphin
that.
rabies.
Fuck the Academy.
Dolphin rabies.
On that note, guys, thank you so much for spending your time with us. I'm sorry we've wasted it.
Please patch up your wrist. It's been great.
Always a blast.
So, anything else?
Have a good night, everybody.
Let's take this photo. I need a smoke. Yay! Admiral snack bars.